A Jack Daniels swilling, pizza-eating, dog-hating, whore-using, cocaine-abusing, hairy-backed, big-belly blowhard from New Jersey. The fat little bastard known as Artie Lang!
The Artie Quitter Podcast, that's right. Show number 4 of this week. That's right, we got to 4. I'm going to do, like, sort of half of a show here that you're going to hear, whatever that means. Half a show could be 2 hours. That's right, you get a bang for your quarter of fucking day. Oh, that kid, the last kid who tweeted, at some point, aren't you just shitting on me? Quarter a day. Quarter a fucking day. At some point, I'm just shitting on him. I would love to shit on you. Literally. I want to go back into my Twitter. I erased the guy. Shitting on you. He goes, okay, Art, last week, you had 3, maybe, sort of, I'm going to say 3.5 episodes. You took a vacation. Yeah, 8 weeks into the year, I took our first fucking vacation. I said 6 weeks off a year, dude. People that, you love and I love too, take off half the year. Wink, wink, nod, nod. Anyway. That guy deserves it.
Maybe he doesn't have anyone to love.
Best ever. Who are you talking about?
The guy you said people you love take a week off. Maybe he doesn't have anyone.
Oh. Well, that's his problem.
Maybe he needs love.
The people he loves he doesn't know. Because they're celebrities. He's like the king of comedy in the basement. Ma, wait. He's got the tape recorder. Ma, wait. And here he is, Rupert. Who are the guests? He's like talking to Dinah Shore. He pretends Dinah Shore's there or Burt Reynolds. Dinah, you are so funny. Remember we did the road together? Oh, that's so brilliant. Who knew De Niro could do that? Scorsese knew. Listen to that dead air. Are you afraid to do anything or something?
No.
We'll say that. Jesus. Just all by myself. You check the mics, you do the snap thing, it's very good. That is, I noticed Flippin does that. Is that something you engineers or you people, you snap the mic to see if it's on? If no one's there to say testing 1, 2, 3, you snap in front of the mic?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. You don't remember doing that?
I
do it every day.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's easier for me to reach. I just like to do
Flippin does it too. It's it's a thing with you guys.
Yes. At the meetings, at the engineer meeting. Yeah. At the Artie Podcast engineer meetings.
There's something you guys have in common, all engineers. You do the snap thing, and none of you seem to be really that great with women. You're not really tearing it up there. Flippin, I thought Flippin's not a bad looking guy, No. He should really change the Met and Giant shirts. That's not a thing, Flippin, first of all, I really value Flippin's opinion, unless, of course, we're in the woods in Minnesota one day with Timothy McVeigh's accomplices who got better lawyers. But I think Flippin is funny. I value his opinion as far as comedy's concerned. I really do. I think he's a smart kid, and he's got a great sense of humor. I love talking to him. He loves a lot of my humor, particularly the racial stuff, which I'm doing ironically, by the way, if Hollywood's listening. If the gay mafia's listening. It's all ironic. And, boy, you say gay, Dan shuts up. He shuts up. What's more offensive, gay or mafia? That's gay mafia when I say that. Well, one doesn't exist. And the other one is the mafia. No. You make these jokes that are edgy and Flippin, I think, it gives it up. He's in the business where there's a lot of very liberal people. And I have no problem with liberal people. I have a problem with people who don't know shit. And they get into show business and they see that the big wigs are liberal, so they just say they're liberal. That creates an idiot that you want to throw out a window at a party. That creates Ashton Kutcher and Ashton Kutcher's assistant.
But let's say that you got invited to a state dinner at the White House, and you had an extra ticket.
Right.
Would James Flippin be your third? Let me just.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Well, you said you wouldn't want to be in the woods.
Third what?
Third person. Like, let's say you brought
I
a
have
date.
ticket, right?
And he just happened to be available that weekend. Would you bring him to the White House with you?
I mean, I like James, but it's a flawed joke and question because he'd be way down on my list in any event. I mean, I know, there's a lot of friends I'd ask first. Yeah, I mean, you'd be, you wouldn't be in the top 20. Because I'd ask my uncles and, like people. That's Dan's contribution instead of laughing. If you're going to make a noise into the microphone and the choice is that question to take the comedic route we were going to take with it, where you wanted it to go, or fake laughing, fake laugh. Like I got, when I did stand-up for Robert Kraft, the fucking owner of the Patriots, he took me on it. He said, I'll send the private jet Wednesday afternoon. That was a very rock and roll day. I did the Stern Show in the morning. I got a limo to Teterboro that Kraft paid for, and Teterboro Airport in Jersey, and I got on the Patriots plane and flew up there, did stand-up in his mansion for his kid's 40th birthday. I was a surprise. I was the stripper in the cake who's let herself go, quite frankly, with the hair removal products and the weight. And it was a lot of fun. And I said, this is a unique experience. And both of my uncles are very successful people. One blue collar, one white collar, but both very successful, hardworking, and just amazing, solid human beings, man. Love their family, take care of them. And I said, most people don't ever get a chance to fly in a private jet. It's very cool. Very cool. And a lot of people say, I've prop planes, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not the same. I'm talking about that private jet feeling that you look at the G6 Challenger that, the big wigs get in. And they're usually clean, usually. You don't want to take a private jet right after the Seth Rogen cheesesteak eating charity contest came back from Newport Beach on the jet. He got them all a private jet ride. That's the thing. You got to leech on the stuff. I've been responsible myself for the jet only one time out of probably taking 40 private jets. It's usually you leech on to either a business or a guy who can afford it. In the first case, it was Quincy Jones said he had the wings. He never lied to me and said that it was his jet, but it was like I think the Warner Brothers jet. But the Kraft was his jet. Sent that down. And I said to my uncles, my Uncle Bruce, my Uncle Tommy, it wasn't a place for my Aunt Dee, who's my godmother. I said my mother didn't want to go. I asked my sister, she couldn't go. But for a woman like, she didn't really care about the Kraft thing. So I asked my two uncles. One is my godfather. And to the Italian people, that's a very sacred, special relationship. And the other, my Uncle Bruce, like an older brother to me my whole life. So I said, you guys want to be funny afternoon? They're huge sports fans. I mean, they hate the Pats, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, big Giant fans. Big Giant fans. If you coughed hard with the flu, some of your phlegm hit Giant Stadium from where we lived. And that was a big thing in beer league, obviously, with Manganelli, all the Cowboy shithead fans. And, I said, here's the afternoon, guys. I'm giving back to, you guys always being so nice to me growing up, calling me a loser, and I'm, and saying, listen, you really have to think about, I don't know, what, you want to be a hot dog vendor? What do you want to do? My Uncle Tom actually said that to me. Which, my Uncle Tom would say something to me when I was 23 years old. Listen, we're trying to figure out what you're going to do. I mean, your mother might be homeless, and you're becoming an albatross around everyone's neck. I know the comedy thing will probably work out, and roll his eyes. I mean, in a nice way. He was trying to help me, That's how you talk in Jersey. And,
I did the same thing.
yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, it's Italian families are realistic. Like people who get coddled. That's part of the problem. Part of the problem. It's enabling.
But they're so nice when I've met them. I can't even imagine really mean stuff coming out of their mouths.
They're all bullshitters. No, well, they don't like you. I mean, no, they like you, but they're starting to loosen up a little bit with you. They usually go through sports, and before you know it, they're insulting your family. No, I mean, my Uncle Tom and my Uncle Bruce. Let me tell you something. They became like second father figures to me when my old man passed away, and but they were, I'm happy they were like that. They were brutally honest. Like if you tried to be funny around them and you weren't funny, oh my god, there wasn't even a throwing of a life preserver. They were like, oh, that's horrible. Even movies, I remember the movie I did with David Spade. My Uncle Bruce in particular thought was horror so bad. And I remember we were going to visit my grandfather in World War II in the Battle of the Bulge. He got captured and he was in a German prison camp for 6 months with a guy named Bob Forbes, who was, they became like brothers in this prison camp. They talk about dedication. It was Lent. They got captured maybe the day before Lent. And, that's in the Catholic faith. The 40 days leading up to Easter, you give up something. You say, I'll give up, bread if I like it or whatever. Three's Company episodes. Brussels sprouts, stuff like that. Now, most people try to give up booze and stuff, whatever. Like, that's realistic. You always have that alcoholic friend who's like ossified the day before Lent starts. I'm going to stop. That's it for God. No more Rumpelmans. One time I was drunk and my buddy Kevin still talks about this when I see him. I never see him, but one of my best friends, Kevin, he goes, Art, last night you actually said, he goes, you know what? I'm going to really cut down the drinking. I'm going to stop drinking. Just beer and tequila. That came out of my mouth. What a loser. By the way, I'm not saying my Uncle Bruce and Uncle Tom were not playing the odds. If, an honest assessment of me by a third party would have been, yeah. This is going nowhere. And that's why this country's great. What a country. I'm an overachiever. Look at me. I'm an untalented slob. Not that bright, not particularly good looking, with a horrible attitude. I'm sitting in a penthouse with a few mil in the bank. Should be more. But I guess Denver couldn't cover. So, yeah, but that helps comedy. Like Norm used to always say that, in the sitcom writers' room when we were doing the Norm show, we came from sketch comedy. And sketch comedy, those writers, a lot of them are crossover. They worked for Mad and they worked for SNL. And, we did 8 in a row, 8 Mad TVs in a row just to get a leg up on SNL. And it got tense in those writers' rooms. And if you said something unfunny, oh my God. They would go, just leave, get a sandwich. Well, I'm a cast member, get a sandwich. And the dead silence, the dead air, like Dan does with me here. But there's nothing on the line. Here it's, we're trying to make a living. Dan finds it necessary not to contribute on the air. Listen to that. He's rubbing his beard, which of course is his wife. Oh, I'm kidding. He laughs at that. So my uncle's growing up when he said something stupid. If they fake laugh, like a lot of families do, you see that? I've seen it with some girlfriends. I go over to their house and, these girls say something so stupid. They're, that's so funny. Really? By the way, all the girlfriends these are people. Let's edit that out. No, I'm saying we're not girls, even the guys. Black families are great like that too. Italian families, ethnic. They're so honest about comedy and T-shirts. Like I said, the great comic Keith Robinson, who I had a bit of a stroke and I believe he's recovering, and I hope he does really well because I love Keith. You see him at the Comedy Cellar all the time, sitting at that table. I've laughed very hard with Keith Robinson at that Comedy Cellar table. Oh, do we laugh at a bunch of stuff. So I wish him a speedy recovery. But he in particular was like that. If you want to know if you look good in something, call him. Send him a picture. But not only will he be on his home turf if he does this stand-up contest I'm talking about, at the Comedy Cellar, which is an announcement I'm teasing. It's all tied into the addiction thing. But, a lot of it I want to do is, I'll get to the rules of the the whole addiction thing. I'm adding a stand-up component, and I want to do a lot of. I want to get comics who are good at crowd work, in particular. Gino Bisconti. Well, good's a strong word. Gino is as good as it comes. Actually, I can think off the top of my head 8 other people that are better. No, I'm busting his chops. He's somewhere right now pretending he's not angry.
He's in California, I think.
Oh, that's right. It's L.A. It's L.A. Gino. He does that 2 weeks a year.
Yeah.
L.A. Gino. Who's he staying with? Is he Joe DeRosa again?
He's mad at me, so I don't know.
Who?
Gino.
Why is he mad at you?
I have no clue. He went on somebody's.
He thinks you're the reason that I'm not having.
Yeah, he's not here, right? And
Well, no one's here.
right.
Does he see that?
Yeah. So he's mad at me. He ripped on me on Twitter today.
What did he say?
He just said something like, "Well, what do you expect from Filato? He never comes through with anything."
What do you expect?
Because he wants to be here.
Well, what do you mean? What do you expect? Well, what was he reacting to?
Levy was upset this morning.
About what?
Okay, how did it start?
By the way, listen to this. These men are 50.
I know. I'm like, Bob, you got to be.
What are they
You're the
upset
biggest
about?
ball buster.
This is how you tell stories. Tell the story. What are we talking about here? Why were they mad? What happened?
I have to remember how it got started this morning.
What was the subject they were mad about? Not being on the show?
Levy's.
Are you involved in this?
Yes.
So you get involved in the conversation? So where is it? Get your Twitter out.
Let me get it. Let me get my phone. I don't have my phone.
You don't remember what it's about?
No, I don't.
So don't bring it up then. You don't remember what he tweeted? He said he's mad at you. He tweeted something you don't remember. You really give a shit what he thinks. By the way, Dan's not here. The show's exactly the same. Need somebody over there just to press off.
I know what it was now.
Yeah, well, Dan, I would hope. Well, what did Gino say? What do you expect from? What's Levy mad about?
Okay, so this morning, a couple of guys were making fun of my high pants wearing and yellow feet, and I texted, if Bob hadn't come 45 minutes early, that would have never happened.
So Levy was making fun of your yellow feet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there were a couple other guys in there too.
Like who?
People I don't know. Just Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, just on Twitter.
So you goofed back.
Right.
You're fine. That's your right.
Right.
He launched the first missile.
Right. And so then I said, so Bob goes, "Huh? I don't understand." And I go, you came early because you always have an agenda. He's always got a list of things. Bob's the only one that comes with a list.
Right.
Well, apparently he was upset with the word agenda. But I apologized to him. I go, Bob, and I even texted him.
What it means.
I texted him.
He says, like, I'm upset with the word agenda. AJENDA. Well, okay. So what? I gotta hear this. This sounds great. Go ahead, keep going.
So then I texted him. I texted him and tweeted back an apology saying, Bob, I never thought that I would understand you.
Need for that, Dan. You're such a good person. Jesus. So go ahead.
I like Bob.
So no, you don't.
So then,
you don't like Bob.
So he went. So
I like Bob. You know.
So then I went through the rest of the day and pretty much, and we had a couple things that we did this afternoon.
Right.
And then I get back and Bob's still harping on it.
Think about that. Bob, what are you doing?
I just don't like the word agenda.
Oh, but Bob, what are you doing? I love Bob, but why is he still 4 hours he's tweeting? For 4 hours he's tweeting. What's going on? Shouldn't we be gassing up the car for the Scranton trip?
That's what he's upset about.
What's he upset about?
That you're not promoting as much as...
Hey, tell Bob. Hey, Bob, let me tell you something right now. Okay? The favors I've done for you, okay? And you've done for me. We're friends. But this bitching back and forth, Bob, on Twitter, really?
So he said that...
Scranton, Pennsylvania, guys. Warriors, okay? April 8th. It's a great cause. And me and Levy are going to come. We're going to do a great show. And the Warriors will get what's left over after Bob's expenses.
See, I got to stop laughing. He's going to be so mad at me. I laugh.
Cheers. No,
this is not the Wounded Warriors.
I understand. What is it? Who is it? What is the Warriors?
Well, they got let go this today because they found the Wounded Warriors.
Oh, forget the Wounded Warriors. What's the name of Bob's thing?
Warrior Project, I think, right?
Okay.
I think it's Warrior Project.
It is, all right. But I mean, Levy's a generous guy, and when he does charity stuff, believe me, it's on the up and up, and he's a good man, and that is going to be a great cause. It is. But what exactly is he saying about me not promoting it?
He said he didn't have your number. I go, Bob, he texted me. This is personal now. He texted me, he goes, I don't have his, he changed his cell phone. You lost your phone 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. I go, Bob, you're one of the first guys to get Artie's number. What are you talking about? All you got to do is call the house. All you got to do is text me.
Right. Did you give it to him?
Yes, I gave it to him.
Okay, good.
Has he texted? Did you text you at all today?
No.
Well, then it must not be that important. And in typical fashion, the guys around you shit on me because they think that I'm the one that makes the decisions.
No, that's not why they shit on you, Dan. It's because they're afraid to shit on me. That's why. And you take the brunt of it. You don't think that's the dynamic of what's going on here?
Well,
you can't cancel Scranton. I can. You understand? That's why they shit on you. You're 50 years old, Bob. You're on Twitter for 5 hours today, talking about the word agenda. I mean, as an independent life coach, I could come in and really point out some glaringly obvious problems.
so then our buddy Gino got involved.
So Gino sees us on Twitter because he's got a lot to do.
Yeah, and
With the video shoot end early.
Yeah, and Gino, who every day promised me his picks by Friday, and he would send them Sunday morning at 11:55.
Real go-getter.
So Gino, I have to go back and see. Gino got involved.
This is so great.
And he's mad at me because he wants me to get him on Colin Cowherd's show.
Why?
Because he wants to be on.
Well, how can you get on that? How can you get him on that show? I don't, wait, stop. Hey, let's go over to the sentence you just said. Gino's mad at you,
right?
Because he wants you to he wants you to get him on the Colin Cowherd show,
right?
Is that what does that even mean? Explain that to me. Like how does he know you can get him on the Colin Cowherd show?
Well, I know one of the producers
because you told him that.
Yes, it came up here.
Right.
Yeah, but we weren't talking about something else. We were talking about something else, not a booking for a show.
Okay, wait. Fine. So you got to watch it. You know, you like to talk a lot, Dan. These people hear shit, especially comics. Don't brag about knowing somebody at the Colin Cowherd show because they'll use it. I'm telling you.
I know that now.
Well, you should know it. So now what's his problem?
But I thought this was a safe room.
So what's his problem?
So that's why Gino's pissed at me.
Wait a minute. Why, Dan? I can't believe that's got to be a lie.
No, he's not.
So what? So he says what? What does he say to you?
Okay, hold on. I got to find the tweet.
On Twitter, he asked you for it.
No. He got involved with the Levy conversation, the Bob Levy conversation.
Okay, Dan. Let's just have a conversation here, policeman. What happened with Cal? He says to you, "Hey, that producer,
right?
You know, can you get me on the show?"
Right.
First of all, that's an ESPN show, right?
No, it's Fox now. They just changed. He changed.
Okay, so why does he think you can get him on there?
Because I know the producer.
Right. Okay. So now, have you tried?
Well, I was going to try, but then about a week and a half ago, I heard a tape of Gino ripping on me on a show, on Bob Levy's show, because it's on the Radio Misfits network. So I was listening, and Gino was ripping me, saying that I sometimes stop him when he's on a roll of funny, and that Dan doesn't know funny. And I was like, you fucker. I was so mad.
Yeah, well, you have a right to be.
And then he didn't. Then at another point in the conversation, he said he doesn't know why he's not on the show anymore. It's not. Nobody stopped you from being on the show. We're doing this at odd hours.
Well, the way I'm doing it now is no one's on the show because I'm getting over a cold. I woke up about a week ago and I had no voice, nothing. The first podcast we did this week, if you go back, how long have we been back from Pittsburgh for?
2 weeks, right?
2 weeks. If you go back to those early shows of last week, you can't. I can't talk. So, and it's catching. This flu is bad this year. So yeah, nobody's in here. And when Gino comes in, when I'm trying to be funny, like you, Dan, he looks at me like an oil painting. And when he makes a noise, just to interrupt me, or to talk about his picks.
Or Anne Frank.
He doesn't seem to like, my company. But, he's welcome to come on anytime as long as, it's not just me because I have a cold. I'm not healthy. But I got to tell you, it's interesting. Interesting radio. Interesting podcasting. Mr. Agenda.
He didn't like the word. And it's 5 o'clock when I came home. He's still talking about it. You got to be fucking kidding me. All the times he brought, like, hey, I'm coming. And then he'd come with 4 people. 2 of them with some type of ailment.
Oh.
Listen, I couldn't. This guy drove me. It's a guy with no legs.
How's that feel?
Brutal.
How's that feel, Ben? Okay, good. Thanks.
It was like the Bloschetti weather one.
You try to be funny, and that's what you get.
You had such a fucking smile on your face, like, oh, the silence is so amazing. That's the biggest smile I've ever seen on your face.
Wait, I'll do a beard stretch.
I wish I could have seen that.
With Gino, I get that, and Gino's sitting 2 inches from me, and he's got his hand on his chin, looking at me like this, going, "Why is this guy more famous than me?
I know.
Why am I not on the show more?" Ryan doesn't do it. He's not as funny as me. Why can this guy afford good cold cuts? Yeah, he's probably so mad when he sees the Kobe roast beef. I get Kobe roast beef just so Chris Cotton and Gino can see it. By the way, Chris Cotton, we have to talk about. Gino, there's no conspiracy about it. Just come in when you want. You come in anytime you want, unless I have the flu. Hey guys, this is what I call a bridge segment. The first part of the podcast you heard, which was what, a half hour, Dan? Something like that?
Yes, from last night.
Like a half hour. Last night we did part of it knowing that Rick Shapiro was going to come in and be a guest. Rick Shapiro, legendary comic, who I first saw about 20 years ago, do stand up. He's so unique. So he's our guest today, and that should be a roller coaster. I'm pretending it didn't happen yet. It happened, and I'm doing this afterwards. It was a roller coaster, and Rick is awesome. And he brought my friend Peter Appel, who's a great actor, and a friend of Rick's as well, Gordon, who's in Beer League, actually. He's on one of the softball teams we play, and a talented guy in his own right. So Rick Shapiro coming up afterwards. A couple of things that, Danny reminded me that I mentioned beforehand. I talked about Chris Cotton. Chris, I love Chris Cotton. There's a reason he was on this podcast. About a year and a half before I started the podcast, when Danny and I were still doing the direct TV show with the Artie Lang show after Nick had left. John was there. I was at the Comedy Cellar. And, it was one of those nights you do a spot at the Cellar late, and there's broads around, you're hanging out, blah, 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 you're talking, smoking cigarettes, and bullshitting in front of the Cellar. It was the summertime. And Keith Robinson, a great comic, was there, and Attell and everybody. And we were hanging out, and I started talking to these 4 black kids who were from Philly, and were all comics. One was Monroe Martin, who was making a name for himself, a really funny kid, man. And another guy, Dave, and a couple of all the guys, have gone since then, have made some inroads into comedy, and I got a feeling you're going to hear a lot about them in the future. But Chris was a guy who I started talking to that night, and generally thought was a funny kid, and I thought he was interesting, too, as a person, because, what these kids were doing, I had it easy in the sense that I grew up 10 miles from New York City. These guys did stand-up in Philly, which has a great, great comedy scene, a lot of funny people, but they were commuting from Philly to do stand-up in New York, and I respect that work ethic the younger people have to do sometimes. And I thought Chris was a good guy, struggling like that and coming back and forth, and I thought he was funny. So I said, if I ever do a podcast, something like that, in the back of my head, he should come on. I had all the guys on as guests. All 4 guys came on once as guests on DirecTV, and they were great. And when I was politely asked to leave DirecTV, Danny agreed to produce this show, and I said, I'm going to have Chris come on and maybe be a regular. And that's what happened. And he was great on the show. And came up to Montreal with us, and, it was always fun, had a great sense of humor. Great natural arguments between him and Gino, and it was just good on the radio. And I had him open for me on the road. I threw him some work on the road because it's a chance for some good money. And he was always great. He always killed on the road. I took him to, he was a younger guy, not used to maybe like 2,000 seats and theaters, and I took him to a couple of those. And it was always amazing. He killed. About 6 months ago, he started showing up not as much. At one of the gigs where he opened for me, by the way, I think it was Valentine's Day at the Borgata, and he brought his wife, or before that maybe. It was a night at the Borgata down in Atlantic City when I play there. He brought his wife, who was, beautiful, beautiful girl, and such a wonderful person. She's a nurse, and we were like, great, it's good to know a friend of yours has a solid woman like that. And we always said, Chris, don't do anything to blow that, and of course he agreed. But about 6 months ago he started. But Dan, like 4 months ago, he started not coming in as much. It was harder to get him on the phone. He wasn't coming in, and I don't know if he was offended by something. You never know. Especially younger people from his generation, you never know what you say that could offend them. It's crazy. Dan putting on the schedule, colored comic 9 a.m.
Oh, great!
Dan is an old-fashioned guy, and I said I'll talk to Dan about that. But see, those are the kind of jokes like Chris would take that and say something funnier back because great sense of humor. He's a comedian. Comedians have senses of humor. And it wasn't that I learned. I found out slowly that Chris had, I think Chris was raised Catholic as well. Certainly Christian, maybe Southern Baptist or Methodist, or he might have been Roman Catholic as well, like myself. And Dan's Roman Catholic. Are you Roman Catholic or no?
Lutheran, okay.
Whatever. Gutter snipe. You don't receive communion.
And Lutheran.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's Protestant, right?
We don't do confession.
Oh, you don't?
Martin Luther said no.
Really?
Yeah.
So you get away with everything.
Oh, yeah.
You want to give your first holy confession here? Or if I got a priest? Why don't you do it? Got a feeling Rick Steves is in there. And Brussels Griffons. So, really, that's cool. We did do ours. You did your first communion in second grade. What'd you do? What'd you do in the second grade? I don't know what I did. I'm trying to think of shit in the second grade what I did. 8th grade is confirmation, but second grade is communion. Should be the other way around when you lived a little in the 8th grade. I couldn't. There's not enough time in the left of my life to go to confession now.
No. This is your confession.
Bless me. Well, yeah, believe me. Not even close. Not even close. These stories are dolled up. These stories have rouge and lipstick on them. Making the fucking rat,
oh my God.
Rat look nicer. What are you saying you don't know about the dead Cuban boy in Florida on the corner? Forget it, Henry. Get down on your knees and pray. You don't want to pray? Lutheran? Luther boy?
How close are we to Ed Torian and Richard Nixon? You get the voice almost back?
So I understand. Please don't tell me I lost the Torian. Yes, you are. Yeah, I got to work on it. I still don't have it good enough. That's how much of an artist I am. It's not good enough. Yeah, thank you for asking on the air, by the way. It's not good enough to do with the audience yet, but I will do it. You, and Nixon's perfect. So I found out that Chris sort of, and it's funny. Over the years, I've had a lot of what I'm about to say that Chris claimed happened to him has happened to a lot of people I've known over the years. And it's a good thing on its surface, and it could be a good thing for sure. With some people, it isn't. With some people, it works. But for some reason, it's happened with a lot of people in my life, men and women, maybe about 5 people, 3 to 5 people. in my life, somewhere around there, in the last 2 years, have told me what I'm about to tell you. Chris told me. Basically, in so many words, Chris said, it's 2016, so there wasn't a poignant face-to-face. It was more like a Skype or texting. Basically, through all sorts of communications, a couple in person, Chris basically explained to me that he had sort of an epiphany religious-wise, born-again type of thing. I'm not going to, I can't speak for him. I don't know if he'd call himself a born-again Christian but he had a religious sort of happening in his life. And he felt sort of, that whole, insert your own disgusting white trash molesting joke here, but touched by God. Not a priest God. There's a difference, apparently. And he got religion in a big way. I mean, he to the point where he's texting quote from the Bible. She's texting scripture. I hope he's not speaking in tongues. That'd be a big tongue. But he, all joking aside, he found the religion thing. And look, I was brought up Roman Catholic with those ideals, and I have them. But Chris is very serious about it, and I take that seriously too. Like I told my mother about it, and she's like, "Well, you respect that because my mom's very religious," and I do respect it. And he seems solid. He seems happy. He seems like a more stable guy. Comics aren't stable, but my point is, what I'm hoping is his craft, his skill, which he's great at, is comedy. And he does some rated R stuff, some clean stuff, but it's all edgy nowadays, I think, compared to stuff he did in the 60s. So born-again Christian comedy tend to not go together. Richard Pryor's first album probably would not have been as good if he was a born-again Christian. Same with George Carlin, Sam Kinison, Chris Rock, on down the line. And yours truly. Not that I'm on that list, but it's my podcast, so I'm putting myself. Yeah, I'm saying I don't know. I know his comedy; it's great, but if he stays adherent to the rules of born-again Christianity, or if that's what he is, or close to it, it seems like he is, right, Dan? I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's I don't know, but he's naturally funny, and I'm sure he'll be fine. And I just hope he's okay. I haven't seen him in a while. He's down in Philly. I kept offering him a chance to come here, and it makes sense. I respect the fact, it makes sense. I mean, listen, he's a young guy, so this show has a lot to do with what he has going on in show business and plugging stuff here. And, what we talk about here is not conducive to it. And I think he might be afraid we make fun of it, which it might be the natural reaction to goof on it a little, and I wouldn't want to offend the guy. And he's being mature, saying, no, it's not an atmosphere for if I'm really going to commit to this. And he's committed to it, and I respect that. I thought about doing it years ago, but hooker pussy was too good.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding. I never thought about it. But, I've had uncles, close relatives, really good friends, ex-girlfriends, other people, I have turned several chicks to God. But, and you respect it. You do respect it because it's how I was brought up. Am I a believer? There's something out there, man. I don't know. Something's got to be guided. Something is certainly holding me up. I don't know, in this business. And that angel's name was Dan Filato.
Thanks, man.
You're my guy. You're like the guy who jumps in. You're Clarence, who jumps in It's a Wonderful Life. You jumped into the bay. That is Artie Lang. And you saved Jimmy Stewart. Henry Fonda, Jimmy Stewart. Anyway, yeah, that's right, Zuzu. Yeah. So there you have it. So to the point where I hadn't talked to Chris. Okay, here's what it's like. I hadn't talked to Chris in over a month. And again, you guys might think I'm being a little sarcastic. I'm not. Who's that? There's a woman on my... Who is that? Do you know that woman?
I can see it.
That's in my pictures.
No, I don't know. Who's that?
I don't know. That's in my photos. It's the first time I've ever seen it.
Huh.
Is that God? Oh, no, wait. These aren't... No, these are before, I guess. You know who that is?
No.
That's the chick who...
Oh.
I guess before he got Christianity.
Oh, okay.
We're looking at pictures on Chris's thing before he got Christianity. Okay, we'll move on. Okay.
Interesting.
That's before he got Christianity.
Yeah.
In all fairness. My God, what's going on? Let me find Chris's last text to me. Okay, that's before Christianity. That's a chick's pussy. That's a shit he took at a chick's mouth. I'm kidding, of course. Yeah. Of course I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Maybe this is a biblical reference. I don't know. The other afternoon, I'm sitting watching TV, 1:21 p.m., waiting to do the podcast, actually. And I get texts like this. The Lord died, then ascended to heaven to prepare a place for believers. No more, no less. Don't worry about religion, just believe. Out of nowhere, a friend texts me. So he's quoting from the Bible, kind of a basic quote. I mean, I know he ascended and all that stuff. I know the Easter story. But, not an ounce of irony or joking around. That's where he's at. So a lot of people ask me the Chris Cotton question, who are OGs, as we call it, original gangsters, fans since day one of the podcast. And this is my answer to you, because I do want to answer you. The answer is Chris is just fine, actually. He's great. He seems happier than ever and stable, and he is. Some people bullshit about stuff like this. I know people. Chris is not. Chris really had a vision here, and or whatever happens when you get hit with this born again type thing. Again, born again is just a euphemism I'm using for. He seems to be comforted by his Christianity and his belief in his religion. He seems comforted by that right now in life, and it helps get you through the night, man. Like Lennon said, whatever gets you through the night, buddy. I still love him. I still think he's great. He still has an open invite on this show. I wish him and his wife the best. And you'll probably see him again. It's not goodbye, obviously. I don't know about his state with comedy. I don't think he's done anything. I think he's trying to figure all this out. But, he's quoting me biblical scriptures. He ended like this. Love is the bank. The Lord is the bank. Bye for now. Love is the bank. The Lord is the bank. And when you go to the bank, by the way, ask them if you can get money out of the Lord's account. See what they say. And for you people who are still in with your parents or homeless, when you find out God's making a place for you in heaven, ask if he can make a place for you where you live. Maybe Sea Caucus. Again, that's my cynicism. I was brought up Catholic, and I wouldn't disrespect it in any way, shape, or form. I wouldn't disrespect anybody's religion because, again, it's faith. It's important to people. It reminds you of your parents and what they went through, and a lot of people do it just for their parents, but whatever. You go through the motions. It's faith. Because why are we here? How do we go from mud to the city I'm looking at right now, New York? I don't know. Something's got to be out there that's smarter than us who can make people who are able to do this. Well, I don't know anybody who's capable of making a building or an iPhone. I don't know where they went to school. Not at my school. Most talented guy in my school can build a deck. And it's probably uneven. And I wouldn't sit on it. So that's Chris. That's the Chris story. I wanted to share it because I love Chris, and hopefully he'll be on the show again. But I bet he's still funny, and I bet if you see him anywhere, try to support him. And I love him. So he's trying to, and again, I do appreciate this. Again, some ex-girlfriends have done this, and some friends and some family people, they see how I've lived my life, and it's very dangerous, and some of them worry about me, and they think this is my answer over the years. Certainly a lot of people think it was turned to God, blah, blah, blah. My mother suggested that a lot. I'm like, Mom, I want to learn the act of contrition. That's a prayer, Dan. So I shunned it away. I'm cynical about it. I don't consider myself some, pussy college type who's an intellectual going, I need proof. The Woody Allens of the world, who I think struggles with him more than anything if you see his movies, or the Bill Maher's of the world. People who believe in Jesus are stupid. You're dumb. I'm smart. I'm not like that. But I probably need a little more for it to get me happy in hard times. I need more faith. I do. If it can genuinely make some people get happy in hard times life throws at you, and I've had a lot of them. If God can do that, fine. I know it's better than cocaine or heroin. If it's God. All right? So, good luck to Chris. That sums it up. Dan, you want to add anything? Chris? And you in religion. You're on the fence about it. I know you struggle with it too, right? I mean, you're a smart guy.
I don't really. I don't believe in it. Like I've told you, I just go for a sense of community.
Well, you
for
people
me.
don't know this. What we're talking about. You go to church,
Right?
Right. I don't think you said that on the air. You go to church every week, but you don't believe in religion.
Yeah, I just
So you go to meet people.
no, a sense of community.
Well,
There's just
you can get that other places. though.
I don't.
You must have. But listen, here's my argument. Subconsciously, you must have true belief because you choose church to get that. You can get that anywhere. There's a lot of places where you could go. Don't you? You think there's something to that?
Maybe I don't know.
What type of church do you go to?
I mostly go. I switch it around. I go to Catholic most of the time.
Okay.
I'm Catholic. I go to because they have the best churches. So
go-
I'm also into architecture.
Right. Oh, so you go for architecture.
I go for a lot of things.
Well, what'd you go for? Yeah, but see, all those things could run out though. Like the architecture and the faith keeps you going forever. So do you meet people?
Not really, not necessarily.
So why do you? What? I don't understand. So you like sitting around people?
I just yes.
You don't introduce yourself to people.
No, I don't.
You understand? Don't get hostile, first of all. You understand that's odd, what you're saying. You go for a community, but you don't...
So everyone else can have their, whatever their sense of believing is, but I can't. My sense of believing is...
No, that's not what I'm saying there. I'm saying what you said doesn't make any sense in the English language. You said you want community. Why don't you be communal? What you're not? You're sitting alone. You could be sitting alone in a room if you don't talk to anybody.
You're right. You're 100% right.
But is there a reason for that? You just like being around. It gives you a sense of comfort.
Right.
Okay. Well, that I can argue with. In other words, that's great. Listen, I'm envious of that, actually.
But, much like why I never enjoyed strip clubs all that much because I'd always wonder why the girls got into it. I would, I just go and look at the stare at the priest and okay, what did this guy do?
There's another reason people might think you don't like strip clubs and like staring at a priest. You realize what you're saying out loud.
I realized it.
No,
I figured you could make fun of it.
Dan, you did not.
Yeah, I did. Well, I told you about the strip club thing.
This is the Dan that weirds me out the line.
Yeah, okay. I told you about the strip club thing the other night.
I know, but you didn't realize what you were saying.
The other night?
No, right now you didn't realize you were.
Yes,
you weren't
realized
setting
it.
me up for it.
Yes, I realized it.
This is the Dan that really weirds me out. You're lying.
No, I'm not lying.
You were not setting me up.
Why would I say something that it's not?
Dan.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't mean you're gay. It doesn't. But it's just odd that you said it. I don't like strip clubs. You were dead serious.
I don't like strip clubs.
I know.
I told you that.
Right. And then you said I like...
The real Dan told you I don't like strip clubs.
And then the real Dan then said, I like going and staring at the priest.
No. I was just
Dan,
wondering...
yes, you did.
Yeah.
Say it. That's who cares. Don't lie. You lying right now is weird to me.
Why?
Why would because it's fine what you said.
No,
There's
I
nothing
go.
embarrassing
I
about
don't.
it.
I just go for a sense of community. That's all
You
I
said
go
you stare
for.
at the priest and go, what happened? You want to know his life. That's not gay, Dan. I'm not calling you gay.
Okay.
I'm interested in it too. What do you mean? Like why you chose this, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And certainly their commitment to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a comedian. I'm making a joke about the fact that you don't.
I don't have a problem
You
with
said
making
you don't
a
like
joke.
strip clubs and you like going to church and staring at a priest. As a comedian, I'm going to make a joke about it.
I don't understand.
But you never met. You ever see a cute chick you want to talk to?
Boy, actually, no. I'm not there.
Let them go.
I'm not.
They go to strip clubs and get jobs. But I mean, you've never been to a strip club and you've noticed a chick's hot at a strip club, but you never wanted to get a lap dance from her?
Oh, absolutely. Sure. I've been to, I just don't like going. I've gone. I lived with Mark Grace for 11 years. That's all they would do after games.
Well, so
and
you didn't have to go.
I would say 95% of the time I would sneak out.
Did some of the players go to church and stare at the priest?
Hey, the God Squad guys on the team were the worst, whore lovers there are. They would sit there and you'd sit in the locker room and they'd pass out these little pieces, laminated plastic with Bible verses, and then 10 minutes later they're getting a blowjob in the shower from a chick.
Because God, you could separate the two. It's sex. They're having sex. They're allowed to have sex, Dan.
Hey, not when they preach about their
if they're married.
Yes, they were married.
Yeah, that's a different story. But if they're allowed to have sex,
no, if it was their wife,
they're sinners. We're all sinners. The people who say no are the morons. The people who deny their sexual needs. there's religious people who fuck. They have to. Telling priests, you realize masturbating is not allowed either? You realize that? So you realize what the church was telling priests, grown men? We want you to go into the worst poverty ever and try to figure out all of life's problems. We want you to take confession. We want you to take all of these people's problems and give them forgiveness and put like a big boulder of fucking responsibility of life on your shoulders. We want you to handle all that, clean the church, make sure everything's fine. And by the way, you can't come. Ever. You can't give yourself the one sense of natural relief you want. Ever. I wonder why that experiment went wrong.
Man, the commitment. I can't imagine.
Well, but how long does it take you to get over the commitment thing? How long do you stare at the priest? And then you sit there alone and don't talk to anybody and you leave. I don't get the sense of community there. Sounds like you're making a documentary about a priest. How many people usually at the church when you go? Well, when do you go the same time every week?
No. I sometimes 9, sometimes 1, sometimes 3.
And how many people are there usually?
Oh, it's usually packed. In
What
New York?
day?
Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
Every day. You go any day. What? The 9 a.m. is packed. Every
Yeah.
See, last time I was actually in a church. Well, our trip to Paris, me and Adrian went to Notre Dame after that rainstorm. I'm trying to get rid of you and Sobel.
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, Barry Solo was real easy to get away from.
I understand.
Because
let's calm down.
yeah. Okay.
And Barry likes to go to stare at priests too. And I, so Adrian and I went. Adrian was mad at me at the time, but we were sitting there and we listened to a French mass, and it was packed. And I don't know if it was even a weekend. It was. I think it was a day, 2 days after we saw Bruce. So maybe it was a Sunday. I think it would have been a Sunday. Okay, we're in Notre Dame in the middle of the legendary church, there St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is, the architecture is stunning. Right on the center's right there. Paris is an amazing city. I really was electrified in Paris. I really was. I can't wait to go back there. I'll learn from my mistakes, of course, this time. And but it is a city that gets you pumping. And the time I was there, I loved. But I get what you're saying, Dan, in the sense that I didn't understand what the priest was saying, but I looked at this beautiful church and the people around who were like, even the sinners, at this point, they're taking a break from it. They have to be. So there's something very safe about it.
My phone goes off, and there's there are.
Well, you could do that anywhere. But
no, but here, I can't. I don't get that sense of relief. Like, let's say right now, after I'm done uploading the podcast,
well, you look like you never have a calm moment in your life. You know that, right?
Yes, yeah.
What did that to you? You're like a dog that got raped or something. Dan, I'm telling you, I feel bad asking you for anything. The most casual thing in the world, you could tell Dan, in 2 years, I would like a tissue. My nose might be running in July of 2018, and I would like a tissue. If you told that to Dan and told me I had 2 years to get you a tissue, he got about all right. Just give it. Dan, calm down. I don't need to do 2 years. Well, I just want to make sure. A reminder and tissue. Can I give it to you in an hour? And I feel. Listen. That makes for someone who's a very efficient person, an amazing person. But I'm glad you give that to yourself. You deserve it. You really deserve it. I get exhausted. The anxiety. You look like the tremendous anxiety you have. And then I didn't realize your eyesight was so bad. Dan always, when you Google something, he looks right at the phone. I'm like, what are you doing so intensely? And then I saw like how bad your eyesight is because we were doing that bit on the tweeting together. And I feel terrible about that. My God, it's hard for you.
It's only when I don't have my contacts in.
Oh, okay. But why don't you wear them all the time then? You just can't.
Because you know why? Because one is for far distance scene and one's for close, and it sometimes gives me a headache.
You were born that way?
No, it only happened about 7 or 8 years old. At 5 or 6, when I started.
Well, 7 or 8. So as much as pretty much your whole life, you've had this bad eyesight.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Wow, well, that's hard. Think about that because my reading's going now, my reading vision, and it's a pain in the ass for me, and that's a hardship in life. That really is. It's something you got to deal with, and that isn't. The texting must be crazy.
Yeah,
and I can tell it is.
They're so small,
but that adds to it, dude.
Yeah,
that adds to your anxiety.
Yeah.
All your whole life having to do that gets you anxious.
Yeah.
Like a long text, you're great with texting back, but that must it's a pain in the ass, right?
Right.
Well, I'm glad you give yourself that time. Actually, I have more anxiety than anything. I gotta find that. I do have to find what you have there. You do. The other good thing, I think, and did you do this? I want to know pre-cancer or after, where you appreciate life more. Maybe you give yourself that day where the architecture and the stuff you appreciate, you relax, the church thing like that. I gotta get that day. I don't give that to myself. I'm glad you give yourself that, knowing how anxious you are.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I've done that my entire life.
Your entire life.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, because I'm telling you, that vision thing has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And then your childhood being from Europe, a different thing. I mean, later hosting in Chicago, my God. It creates anxiety. Think about it. We all have stuff that creates it. And your drug is that day you give yourself. And that's a spiritual thing. That I'm envious of. And it's interesting stuff. The architecture, that's real fascinating shit. But it takes work to do that in life, and that's where technology is going to create a different type of human being. People are going to be much different because we're just Danny and I are from a generation where we did not grow up with the iPhone. The smartphone is the real time it changed. Flip phones, blah blah blah. People had car phones, blah blah blah. Here and there, in the 70s even, but the smartphone coming in, man, 2007 or 8ish is when the real. So Dan and I were already past 40, Yeah. So 40 years without this. So in 30 years, the world's going to have most of its human beings will have grown up with this, and they are going to be different human beings. They have to be. Because think about what Dan has with this day, okay? You have that day, but the only part of that day where the phone's off was in church. So the rest is, I might call you, some stupid thing will happen. Well, I know you have shit going on at home, Right. And that's all anxiety because you know that in the old days, people could really relax knowing that even the most tragic thing, it's going to have to wait till I get home.
Yeah.
And I have no guilt over it because that's how it is. You can't get in touch with me. You have that phone knowing, even on your relaxing day where you go, you know that a million things could ruin it, and that in and of itself is like something happening.
Right.
And people will they'll figure out different ways to deal with that anxiety, dope, whatever the fuck it is, more selfish ways. They'll become more inward, less social because they don't have to go somewhere to do something. I just did a whole book deal. I didn't leave my house. Usually in the old days when I first started any type of deal, my first book deal almost 10 years ago, I had to go to the office to physically sign something. That's all changed now. We'll email it to you, blah, blah, blah. I did a book deal and I sold my house down the shore. I never left a 4-foot radius. There's a printer here. People send stuff. We sign it, email back. Sold a house, did a huge book deal. The only thing I had to do was go into the room to pitch it to these people, which is where I excel. See, people like me, it's like, I don't excel with emails. I have to, when you go in the room and I can be funny and sell the book, that's where I get my deal. So I got to get off my ass and do it. Thank God people still want that. And it's so rare, especially with young people, that people can be gregarious and funny in a room like that. That's even more impressive now. So I went to 3 places, killed in every room, took one day, came home, and then the emails start. I had to leave the house one day. I could write the whole book from here. I don't have to leave my house. Me and Anthony collaborate. Think about that. You don't have to go places. Like, in other words, not having to go sign some of these contracts for the book thing, the real estate thing, whatever. You miss interacting that day in New York City, maybe with 15 people. A guy you buy a cigarette from, a pizza bar, homeless guy asking you, a guy get a hot dog from a diner, blah, blah, or a gluten-free muffin nowadays, whatever, a coffee. The office, you see the cute chick by the elevator, the cute receptionist, well, whatever, you mingle. The assistant, the guy, and you come back and you see a whole different group of people. I avoid that now. I'm not affected by it because I grew up meeting those people. But the people growing up not having those relationships, even if they're a second long, is going to be a different kind of person. They're not going to know how to act around other people. It's going to be weird. For one, I'm glad some blood work has proven I won't make it past 55. No, I don't know. And I think, listen, it might sound like an old fuck, an old fart. I think it'll be, in some ways, a sadder world. And it's fine because the people in it won't realize it. But the 90-year-olds, thank God I won't make it of that, they'll see it going on and they'll go, well, I'm drifting away. I don't know what's going to happen here. Well, and the Unabomber was a nut, but he might have been right. It might lead to our destruction. Do you agree with that or not?
Yeah. Don't you think that that's some of the problem in Washington?
Oh,
that,
absolutely.
That they're not. There's no talking. There's no hanging out. There's no going to have a drink.
Dude, let me tell you something. That is a perfect fucking point. What Dan just said, absolutely. There could not be a more divided country right now politically. It is right down the middle. I mean, for younger people, what they say about Barack Obama on Fox News, and I'm not a Hollywood liberal, I'm not anti-Fox News or whatever, but Barack Obama happens to be a guy I voted for, you know, and whatever. He's had a lot of disappointments as a president, but the fact that he exists in and of itself is progress, and he's done some good things too. Absolutely. Not if you watch Fox, though, man. I mean, I've never seen a more disrespect in history. No one, even the people who hated Nixon, they were in the streets saying some rude shit. People on television who, people treat him very rude. It's our president, man. That one governor in Arizona, that woman got in his face that time with her finger. Like,
yeah, the governor.
Yeah. That's your president. You don't do that. She's way more, people like Bill Maher think it's subtle racism. Maybe, but no, I think it's less respect for the enemy and not knowing how to deal with people. Because of what Dan just said, right, with old Washington, you went out, you had a 4-martini lunch, and you talked to people. Now you don't have lunch. I'll email it to you.
Right.
I don't have to see you. And you don't even know if you're going to like the person. And it affects now diplomacy. What is diplomacy? Knowing how to get a beer with somebody, basically, without the beer.
They vote on Tuesday. They're in town, Washington, Wednesday and Thursday, and they go back to their home district to raise money.
And Rubio, raise money, always money. And Rubio's a perfect example. As the biggest, he's never there.
Right.
He's never in the Senate, and he's going to become the norm.
Yep.
The hypocrisy. Ted Cruz mocks him for never going to a place Ted Cruz thinks doesn't work. He should be a rebel Ted Cruz loves. But Dan, that's a great point. And that's going to affect everything. That's why sports are cool. Sports, you're forced to see the bug. Right. You can't do that. You can't do that by computer. You got to go play defensive back. You got to go to practice. Yeah, it's going to affect everything in life. And that's just a big example of it. They are divided in a way where it is I've never seen before. The evil shit that's said. And the Democrats always try to play this phony shit of like we're above saying stuff, but they think it. They don't like each other, and they're never going to learn to do it. Think about kids who instead of going to your friend's house to say something, you can email it. I don't know. Or Skype. I have a play date with Skype. That's a world I don't want to really exist in. God blessed me in every way. I'm a loser, but God blessed me with a talent in one thing to where I can make a very good living because you can't replace a comedian. I guess maybe you could see my hologram at the Yuck Yucks, but I mean, this is the. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. I haven't sent or received an email yet. It's 2016. People. I don't know. That's a good point. I never thought of that, but it's going to be. I hate to say it like this bluntly. It'll be a worse world.
Oh, absolutely.
I think, and the people won't realize it. I think people will be dumber. You get smart meeting other people. You learn how to read them.
And then you can't read tone in Twitter or in text.
It sounds angry.
Yeah.
It's way angry or way funny. You're making fun of me. I agree. Sarcasm.
Yeah.
Right. And you kids growing up not knowing what sarcasm is. Could you imagine?
Right.
And when they hear it, it sounds so mean.
Yeah.
Like my uncles used to greet me by going, "What are you, a jerk off?" I'd say, "Hi, what are you, a jerk off?" And a text, that's very hostile to a millennial. I don't want to sound like an old fart either, millennials. I use that word because people say it. I wish you guys happiness. I wish you guys had half the fun I've had and none of the trouble. Have the fun I had with none of the trouble, and that's a good life. I wish you success and good fortune. And I think it really is true from traveling the country doing stand-up. There's a lot of despair. You're not bullshitting. It's hard to get work. And I wish you love and happiness and health. I do, but try to fight this a little. Try the technology thing a little. There are There are people who do fight it. They like force themselves to, maybe not Google a question or something. But it helps work. It just, think about how much easier stuff is. Dan produces this radio show, and it sounds like fun, but, we do a radio show a couple hours a day. We've done like 250 almost. And it's a living for us. And, we need information about stuff to make bits funnier. It's more interesting. An interview with Dan, that is just, you don't even have to be subtle. You Google the exact question you need. What was the name of the guy whose sock was bleeding in the baseball game? That's it. So it helps work, and then it bleeds into everything else. Everybody's on their phone at dinner. Dinner's different. You can't have a ravioli at 6 o'clock until you get your text. The texts continue through the appetizers. Anyway, there's my commentary. Cotton, I love you. Come back. Gino Bisconte. Of course, I hate to say this about comedians. Gino knows I love him to death, and one of the funniest guys ever. And I was goofing around. Not that he said something. People on Twitter, again, Twitter's another thing. Changing the world. Changing the world. No one wants to get insulted on Twitter. So why do a different act? If you're a young comic, you have 7 minutes, that kills. Why do something different? Why take a risk? And risk getting Artie's blood liver Maddie on Twitter. So, Gino, I love you too. Please come back. We're going to get back to a normal thing. I've been sick, and that's it. So, you heard the first half hour was me last night ranting. Here's a break, and now we're going into a very interesting Rick Shapiro interview. The great Rick Shapiro coming up. Filato, I love you. And coming up, 6 seconds of Beatles songs, a lot of other things, and more on our subscriber contest of first place winner coming in from the holidays. We're making good on that, and more on me sending a couple of kids to rehab. I'm serious about that, guys. Love you. Take care. Hey, look who it is. Artie Quitter Podcast. Rick Shapiro is probably one of the most talented people who's ever breathed air. And
that explains my bank account.
Well, that's the point about show business. Rick and I are, sitting here in the same clothes we wore to a Rush concert in 1981. And, the kids from One Direction are getting blown on a private jet. But that's life, right, Rick? You're okay with that? You've come to terms with the fact that the awful, untalented asswipes make it, and me and you will die alone.
I have a set of golden ice picks for my private comedy collection.
I never forget the first time I saw you was at Caroline's years ago, and I was a young kid, and you were really impressive, man, because you were doing really, I say this about only certain people that I know, like my buddy Norm Macdonald, I think David Tells, like this, Mitch Hedberg. When comics use the word hack, a lot of people misrepresent that word. It basically means unoriginal, a hack. Rick is the direct opposite of a hack. Like whatever that word would be, direct opposite of a hack, you could say Rick Shapiro. He's as original as it comes. He takes risks. And when it works, it's like unbelievable. And when it doesn't work, it's more unbelievable.
Yeah, you're right.
So you got to know a lot of people think that about you, man. So you should feel good about yourself.
That's nice. And I did a podcast yesterday, and I had an audience, and two guys came up wanted. I stuttered now that I lived in L.A. with the miasma over my head about guys who talk with birds coming out of their mouths.
Miasma.
And they whisper. So now I forgot how to be loud. I forgot how to be myself. But what are we talking about?
You said the podcast with an audience. What podcast was that?
And they
The Tonight Show.
Cumia.
Oh, Anthony Cumia. I did that before.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, you guys probably got along. I get along with Anthony. We always have fun over there. Now, the audience can be a little shady. Were they scary?
No.
Okay.
They're shady, but that's what I know.
One of the audience members when I was there had a T-shirt on that said, "And on the 8th day, God created Molly Hatchet."
Really?
No, I was wearing it.
That's what I would believe.
I was wondering, what kind of music do you like? I always wanted to know that about Rick Shapiro. What kind of music are you a fan of music?
Well, I wasn't allowed. That's why I didn't understand when they said you're not allowed to say this on stage. You're not allowed. I wasn't allowed to listen. Yeah. I wasn't allowed to listen to music.
Your parents had that rule?
Yeah, they were like pilgrims disguised as Jews, dressed as what?
Wow, but that's a guilt-ridden house.
Yeah,
except for the wasp part.
But now I like Johnny Cash and
I love
the
Johnny
Ramones. You
Yeah.
can tell by my stutter, I like the Ramones.
Oh my God! Yeah,
They taught me how to speak.
back in the day, I did some coke that I got from Dee Dee Ramone.
Really?
Rockstar cocaine. I was 24 years old and I was doing a comedy. There used to be a comedy club / improv club next to the CBGB's called CBGB Improv. And Hilly Crystal's wife ran it. I guess he gave it to her in the divorce. And a kid who worked at CBGB's got me some blow, and he said, I got this right from Dee Dee Ramone. I said, really? I did like half a line. I walked from CBGB's to Port Authority to go back to Jersey in like 4 minutes. I was slapping my forehead, like hugging homeless people.
That's great.
I mean, I did Rockstar Coke. It's you know, and it explains why when he died, he looked like, you know, Edgar Winter. But, you know, talk about the situation with drugs. One of my favorite things you said in the last time I saw you do stand-up was you just paused and said, God, I miss cocaine.
Yeah.
Me and you both struggled. Now, how did that start? Like, you have a personality where you always, it's hard to get down, right? Coming off stage is hard to come down from that.
It's impossible.
Right.
It's still impossible. And then the next day, especially if you had an exciting night, which I've learned to call it.
Right.
I said, instead of this anxiety, cocaine, more cocaine, more anxiety, more heroin.
That's
pills.
exciting.
Yeah, and that's anxiety.
Right.
The next day, you can't, even without that now, I still can't get off the couch.
It's hard, yeah. But what started? What started it with you? Like, how old were you when you were performing? And
I didn't know I was a comedian till I got sober. So I missed all the good times. I didn't know. I was working on the street. I was with the mob and you know. I mean, you know.
What'd you do for the mob?
Well, I was an errand boy. I had to drop off all the drugs and shit, and I had to go.
You were
to
sort of
the
a bag man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what they called it. I thought it was odd jobs. I really did. I had to carry the dead body out in the carpet with a friend. I thought it was an odd job. I'm sure I was so disconnected. I was like, well, this is good. I usually only scoop ice cream. I always get fired from those jobs.
This is going to be an episode where I'm glad only my cousins listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
I think we're both gonna go to jail. No, you know, the first day I worked at the Port as a longshoreman in Newark for 2 years.
Really?
And a kid I went to high school with, his old man, or a friend of his old man, got me the job. I went down there and I said Fred sent me, and I got 2 years of no paperwork. I just worked there for 2 years. I said Fred sent me. He pointed to orange juice. I loaded trucks for 2 years. I got a Christmas.
That's amazing.
And one day, one of the guys there asked me to take a bag to a deli in Elizabeth, and I gave it to the kid behind the counter, and he counted out a bunch of money that was in there, and it was like 14 grand. He said, here, this is yours, 200, it's all here. And I went back and I said to the guy, what would have happened if it wasn't all there? He goes, well, we would have, had to talk to the guy. I go, well, he's getting blamed or I'm getting blamed? I go, what if the guy miscounted? So he goes, well, you're a smart guy, aren't you? I go, well, listen, I don't want to do this anymore. I go, I don't want to do this anymore. He goes, why? He goes, because during my lunch, I'd rather have a tuna salad than bring 14 grand. I don't need the 200 that much. So I got into an argument with this kid, and then he goes, who are you with? And I told him who sent me, and then he like apologized to me. It's all about who you know. But how'd you get out of that?
In any business, especially the mafia.
But how did you get out of that? Like, would you do your characters?
You want to hear something funny? Yeah, you gotta hear something funny. In the first place, I stole from their safe, which was under the bed while they were asleep.
The first good idea.
Yeah. But I was
Wait, who? The mob guys?
Yeah, I was a loner, so I didn't owe anybody.
No shit. A loner? He's a loan shark, and you're a loner. You're a loner shark. You got to be careful, Mitch. You were always crazy. You took risks like that.
I didn't know. I was. I was always trying to get out of trouble, so I thought going there would get me out of the trouble I was in.
So you were getting the bigger trouble to get you out of the trouble you were already in. I'm wanted for theft. Why not kill a guy?
Question, when they ask you stuff, I learned how to fake cry. Like I was your 8-year-old niece.
Yeah, you're a talented guy. You use those
guys. Why do I love this guy? Why do I love this guy? Yeah.
The mob guy's like, wait, Samantha?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Like I can picture you used your talents to get out of it.
I do characters all the time.
With the mob situations, you would do characters.
Yeah. And they go, we know, Ricky, you're gonna be a big star. They would say, listen, we know you're gonna be a big star someday, big star. But drop this off in the meantime. And they go, you all right with that? You all right with that, Ricky? You all right with that?
On your way to Hollywood. This is what a guy said to me. First of all, he thought I was gay when I told him I wanted to be in show business. He goes, "What are you, fake?" I go, "Well, not really. I don't think so." Then he said to me, he goes, "What do you mean you're going to be a comedian?" I go, "Yeah, comedian." He goes, "You mean like James Caan?" That's what he said. I said, I guess if he's your favorite comedian. But so it's hard to get out of that is the problem. You know,
the way I got out of it was I can show you, but I left. Like I would go out every Sunday night because it was chaos all week. Like you'd be exhausted from.
Where are we talking about? New York, first of all.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like. I also had to go to clubs and bring back girls, which years later, not until 20 years later, I felt so bad because I realized I was bringing girls in to get them into the drugs, and they became prostitutes for the organization.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
It was awful.
So you were bringing girls in to get addicted to drugs to become slaves, in other words.
Yeah.
You were involved in
salesmen.
Human trafficking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas, like, I think Louis C.K. went to Emerson, and you were in.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Right. Well, I didn't go to college either. The only schooling I've had after high school is driver's school. That's it.
Yeah, I thought it was bartender school. 4 times.
I wanted to do that. They said it was $800 a week. I said, how do I open up a bartender school? That's better.
Yeah, just open up a bartender.
Teach me how to make a screwdriver. So you were. Rick. First of all, I respect you. You know, wouldn't you rather have had your life than a life where, you know, you majored in marketing at Montclair State and get a job at a cubicle, have 2 kids you hate, and, you know.
Yeah, I tried
you were living life. You were out there on the wire, right?
Yeah, I know. It was a lot of fun. It was, I cried certain nights. I don't know why.
Well, you were the 8-year-old niece.
Yeah, but I sent girls in.
Oh, God.
And I would be, because they'd come out, and it'd be there 2 weeks, 3 weeks later with, like, they come down. They weren't shooting dope before. And they come down. You want to shoot dope with the 3 of us, and you could get in the shower. All these girls.
Oh, they offer you a shower. It's nice.
Yeah, no, but I felt, but the thing was, when I left, I just split.
Yeah.
And they said you can't leave, but I left. So about 4 years later or 2 or something, I'm walking. I took an acting class. I'm walking with this guy down the street, and I sold my
Typical
body
life.
to
You leave
do
the mom, you
acting
take an
class.
acting class.
And I hustled. Yeah. I carried a dead body. I dumped her. Showed up in time for Tennessee.
Let me ask you, did you have guilt about the girls? Because you seem
What?
like, did you have guilt about the girls that you brought in?
Well, what I told myself was they would have done it anyway. But yeah, I do.
Right. Okay.
I mean, this year I do. It took me 20 years to have guilt about it.
You went into a gift shop and ripped a girl from behind the counter, and you figured she would have gotten to it anyway.
Because I was cute back then. I had bangs. My nose wasn't hit.
That's the other thing about Rick Shapiro, man. Well, you're like just an older now. You look fine to me, but you were a good-looking guy, man. Like I'd say a young Omar Sharif is my guess.
Yeah. I got to take that in.
No, I agree with you. I know you were a ladies' man too, right?
That's what. Yeah, that's what he said. But I didn't know any other way. I wasn't a ladies' man like a con artist. I just would beg. You know, I was relentless. You know, like, how can you and me never go out? What?
Where'd you grow up, Rick?
In New Jersey.
What part?
Around Asbury Park, right outside Asbury.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, on the beach, you know. So I feel like I'm still just a guy who wants a slice and a Coke. We take all this. We have to do scams at different stores.
Right.
And guys would come out with electronics, to take whatever you want, Rick, to take this TV, electronics, and we try to squeeze everything into to do a trunk.
Right.
While the cops were going to come. We were like these guys who couldn't do anything right. I'm like, Benji, get off the curb. No, I'm going to fit this in. I want this. I fucking want this.
I'm going to fit this in.
Yeah. And I would come back with a pair of pants. And the guy goes, what are you doing? I said, you already gave me a place to live. And they'd be like, why do I love this kid? Why do I always do that?
Why do I love this? Yeah, but well, you know, you're the kind of guy. I grew up with kids like that too. Some of the people in the podcast know the story, but the Remo brothers, they're both dead. We used to go to this department store that sold everything when I was 14 years old. There's one kid, Frank, told me, he said, I'm going to steal that canoe. It's a big canoe in the camping section. And so he figured, he goes, no one steals a canoe. It's a perfect crime. They won't think I stole it. So he takes the canoe off the thing, really, puts it on his head and walks out with the canoe. Gets away with it. Security guard with a shirt hanging out like, all right, good. Hey, have a good weekend. You know. So he's laughing. You see the canoe going up and down. He's laughing.
What amazing.
The next day, I get a call from my buddy Mike. He goes, you hear about Frank? I go, what? He goes, got arrested. I saw how they figured it out. He goes, no. He went back for the oars. He got arrested with the oars. He stole the oars for the canoe.
Well, I got to let that in. That's the answer to life.
The security guard looks at the oars and goes, hey, did you take the canoe?
That's beautiful.
The security
man.
guy's the dumbest guy in the story. But that's so you grew up with guys that were crazy like that.
I always wondered about security guards. Yeah, I grew up with them.
Yeah.
It took me years to kind of tell myself you can't hang with them anymore.
Well, yeah, but
I mean, you
when do you
can't.
realize you're talented? Like, that's the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, when do you realize you have this ability?
I still couldn't give them up. I would miss spots thinking I could.
Right.
Thinking that was it. No, I didn't have any role models, so I said, if you don't show up, I heard about the comedians who were cool, didn't show up, or
You
wasn't
mean
there.
spots for clubs? Right, okay.
So David Teller or somebody was like, you got to show up. I'd be like, I'll get there, and I wouldn't show up. I'd be sitting with my friends.
Right.
And
Well, that's rule one in show business, you know.
yeah, I didn't know. My father never spoke to me about I didn't know what ambition was.
Or ambient?
I don't understand these guys who had a serious look in their face in comedy.
Oh, me too,
They'd
yeah.
be sitting there in the back talking about the business, like, yeah, it's very important. In a monotone voice. Yes. So I spoke to Nick Tatatomy over at Comedy.
Nick Tatatomy.
Yeah, I did a podcast yesterday with these two gel-haired guys.
Of course.
You know, handsome, strikingly handsome, square-jawed
How many
men,
podcasts
doing
you
comedy as they should, square-jawed comedy, straight up about their...
Who are they? What do you mean?
I don't even know.
Who calls you about these podcasts? How many have you done in the last day?
When I come in, I do... Last time I did...
Gelhead,
seven of
Movie,
them.
and me?
Now I did 3.
Right.
I think I'm one of 5.
Are we moving a lot of tickets for you? What are you plugging?
I don't know. But when they ask me to promote what I'm playing, I go like, whether it's true or not. I just go,
Well, I hear Richard Pierrot. I'm like, absolutely. It's one of the funniest guys
yeah, they
ever.
actually do. They actually do.
Yeah.
They come.
I mean, I'm glad.
Yeah.
It's
actually great.
But so who are the
I'm always
gel-haired guys?
shocked.
Who are the gel-haired guys?
Oh yeah, and he mentioned something about Comedy Central, Anthony or something as a joke. He goes like fucking Comedy Central, and then the guy worked like a robot. He goes Mark Robbins, yeah. But he didn't even say. Anthony didn't even talk about Comedy
Oh, it's
Central.
unbelievable. No, I know. It's
Yeah, I see the pained look on your
they're
face.
such bullshitters. I know. You know what I used to call them in L.A.? I used to call them speed bullshitters. Like a guy
Yeah.
in L.A. would say something that was such incredible bullshit that even he couldn't believe he just said it. So he would like tone it back with stuff that was less bullshit to like cushion the blow.
Yeah, that's right.
Like he'd say stuff like, "Tonight we're having dinner with Jack Nicholson's son. It's his nephew. He knows him."
Wait, I got one for you. I picked up a hooker. She comes to the house. I called her out of an ad. You got to hear it's the same person, though. A hooker or whoever that guy was. It said, this beautiful Asian American princess, blue-eyed, from Eastern Europe, who had a touch of the Caribbean. So that just meant a fat black hooker. She shows up. She's a fat black hooker. I'm waiting outside where she's got a busted-up car with mail all over the seat, and she comes out. She couldn't even walk. She's like, bouncing over. I go upstairs, and she comes in on her phone. Encouraging somebody else. She's like, "Fuck you, motherfucker! You gonna give me my money? Fuck you!" Over and over. And I'm waiting there while she keeps talking to him.
Is that your Asian character?
What? No. That's my white guy who doesn't really want to imitate the
Asian
black
on the phone character.
motherfucker. I don't know how they do. They do good, but I don't know. But I told you. So
I love your black guy.
Thank you.
That's great. It's great stuff.
This is my Republican. You think Donald
That's
Trump?
your Republican. You're a Republican black guy, Ben Cars.
Yeah, I'm new age. But old sentiments.
Right.
Old values. But the funny thing I was thinking today was, if you told some of these Americans, you think Donald Trump beat up any of his associates or his enemies?
Beat them up, you mean?
I said,
Like
no, he
physically?
wouldn't. He would hire us.
Right.
Because Americans are beating the shit out of each other. And Donald Trump's the little tiny wimp going like, go get him, go get him.
That's what happens. The
And
rich
nobody
guys
sees
tell us
it.
to go fight. That's what a war is. The
And
rich
they
guys
get-
say
yeah.
go fight, and we fight whatever they're doing. What the fuck? To get
Now
Bush
it's in my
oil.
neighborhood. So,
Now, what do you think about the political stuff, Trump and everything? You going to vote? I'm a convicted felon. I can't vote, but are you going to vote?
I never voted, but I'm an idealist. I like Sanders.
You like Sanders, okay.
Yeah, I don't like doing the lesser of two evil things.
You mean Colonel Sanders, Norm Macdonald?
Norm Macdonald's choice, not Gaffigans.
Gaffigan's
I believe.
they must
more.
be a truckload of money. How about for Colonel Sanders, right?
Unbelievable, right?
Must be great. Must be great.
Yeah.
I think me and you should be up for it.
Definitely, or at least for the cable version. So I'm talking to this girl, and she's on the phone.
I'm still on the gel here, guys.
She hangs up. She hangs up, and she goes. She goes. Well, we talked about our careers, and she goes, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm a comedian." She goes, "Oh." Well, if you're a comedian, then I should tell you who you might like who was on the phone. I was the man I was talking with, who she was cursing out, was Ike Turner. wait. And she gives it about...
No, get out of
She
here.
gives it about 8 seconds, or 10 or 20. Junior. She wanted to have me make sure I had the Ike Turner experience.
Right, that hooks you.
Yeah.
Ike Turner hooks you.
Yeah, right.
It's like someone tells you got Sinatra tickets and it's Sinatra Jr.
Yeah, right,
When you
right.
get there. That's terrible. But, listen, it's all bullshit. That's when when you figure out it's all bullshit. It's terrible. A lot of people who are, like I said, hacks or thieves, they make it, and, it's all based on...
I never believed the money I saw. My friends would pull up in these cars, Norton. If I should get really, the reason I stutter is everything is bullshit. I live in LA where they try to tell themselves it's not.
Right.
They talk over themselves all the time, and I can't. I lost my mind, because I forgot how to talk loud. And I mean, if I have an opinion out there, they go like, "Well," they always end it with that, like, "Well."
Yeah, well, they're afraid to commit to anything because it's a risk. They don't want to get
you
fired.
can't just say I hate that guy.
Right.
Well, I'm sure he only did that,
They don't know if something's like you could pitch them a sitcom. Goes Hitler was right. That's the name of the sitcom. And they go, well, let me check. It's a little.
Well,
out
we don't
there.
want to piss off the ones who don't think he was
Did
wrong.
you talk to Bernie about this? Does he like it? The idea? Because I don't want to get fired for passing on Hitler was right.
What if we say Hitler was right about cars?
I always wanted to pitch a black porn just called Rosa Parks. And when they do the pause thing, and then they go, well, and then her pussy on your face.
As long as you put the well in first. Rosa Parks, well.
Would you watch a film called Rosa Parks, her pussy on your face?
Oh, my God, I'd have to.
And then the bit is she's sitting in the front of your face, and a guy tells her to move to the back of your face. And then everybody gets laid.
Tell me your stories.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's my pitch for a porn.
Tell me your moments alone. I bet you got the best moments alone.
Oh, God, yeah. My moments alone involve crying, smoking, a hacking coffin.
Painful, man. It's weird.
Jerking off to Lonnie Anderson on WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh, I can't find her. I do it.
What? Have you ever fucked a famous chick?
Yeah.
Who was that? Can I guess? Madeline Kahn. Just a guess.
Yeah, we loved her. I do my Nathan Lane impression with her, and she goes crazy.
I heard Nathan Lane is gay. Is that true?
No, not at all.
I heard
He's got 7 boy sons that he adopted. He cares about boys. And he says they taught him how to sing because he met him in an acting class. And now he acts gay to keep him home.
Well, I saw Neil Sedaka sing at his wedding. It was very fun.
You did?
Yeah, I did. Breaking up is hard to do
What
live.
famous girls you fuck?
Oh, name one.
I
Just put on the DVR. I DVR the Oscars. Just throw a rock at the screen.
Throw a rock at the screen.
Angela Bassett? Yes, got her. No, but Rick, I got to tell you something.
I'm trying to think of a name. I don't know anybody.
What? So you're saying you forgot? That's when you're cool.
Yeah.
When you forgot the famous chicks you fucked.
Yeah, because you want they're sick. They make you who's sick
Right.
say you got to get out of my house.
Listen, Miss Tandy. I loved you in Driving Miss Daisy, but you have to get out of my house.
But when's the last time you saw a girl have the guts to move from the back of the bus to the front? You got to eat that pussy.
That's right, bro. Well, yeah. You need a guy with a big face for the whole thing to work, like a young Fred Gwynn.
I wouldn't mind disappearing in a giant pussy and not coming back.
Well, you did. It's called L.A.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
When you fly into LAX, it's opening up that badge.
I really like heavy girls. I said because their vaginas look like the night, the ensuing night.
You know what I would do if I was a gay guy? I would only get blowjobs from Arabs because there's always a towel right there for you to wipe your dick off.
Well, you're lazy. That's where lazy.
That's a lazy racist. What do you think about the terrorist thing? How would you take out the terrorists? What would you have ISIS and all that stuff? How would you deal with that?
I thought about that a lot. While enduring breast cancer in L.A. and not being reading the paper in 4 years because I can't even talk to anybody
Are
about
you a
it.
male who had breast cancer? Is that true?
What?
Are you one of the males who had breast cancer? Like
I have colon cancer.
Montel-
I have colon cancer. I'm fucking dying.
that's the sound.
I'm
effect.
dying.
That's the sound effect. I have colon cancer.
Yeah, I know. I'm so glad I let myself do that.
You know, that's my tell in poker. When I get a good card, I violently shit my pants.
That'd be great. So he has a loud stomach grumble.
Mr. Lang and Ace.
That'd be great. Somebody
Everybody's
goes
out.
His hand sucks. He's just like,
Where are you playing stand-up now? Where can I see? I would see you live every night.
I want to keep making noises, man.
Go right ahead.
I'm doing it.
What is this, Z Morning Zoo? We're going to blow the 5 o'clock fart with Richard Pierrot.
Yeah.
Coming up, Sheena Easton.
Suddenly, men are not combing their hair as comedians. But
That's our tour.
But when you say a hack is just someone who does the same as
Unoriginal, like that. You know.
Yeah, unoriginal.
Right.
Because the thing is, there was, you would go to the Comedy Store before I was there, but you'd see. They told me you'd see Steve Martin,
right,
and then Sam Kinison would be after him. Like I know so many unique, incredibly funny guys who I can't do that because they think it's a guy in a H&M thing,
right?
Talking about texting or something.
Yeah, no,
and why it's important.
Comedy's gotten very safe now.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
People get book deals because I have stories about brunch.
Yeah,
it's
getting drunk at brunch.
There's no risks. See, everything you do is interesting, and you're probably got an IQ north of 160, right? I mean, have you ever had it tested?
No.
Okay.
Nobody ever believed in me.
Well, tell
you.
them to call me. I have a lot of credibility.
A couple of podcasts believe me.
No, well, not so the gel-haired guys. They call your how do you book that?
What?
I want to go on the gel-haired guy's show.
You have to hang around the room a lot. You have to sit in the back like this.
Eventually, that's your goal.
Yeah, that's a goal. That's where you end up.
Now, you're on Auntie Kumi show. I love Anthony. You did that, right?
Yeah, they had squirters on yesterday.
Squirters?
I ate
oh,
that
right. Okay,
ass.
the pussy. Okay.
Well, they were all sitting there. I go, come on. Let me have
Oh,
your
you
ass.
did?
When I started, I thought I had guts. I go, can I kiss it? And she backs up into my mouth. I said, meanwhile, nobody else asked. And I started licking that whole thing. And I'm never the same. I'm not going to be the same. I'm not going to be the same.
That story's going to get you a meeting at ABC.
Yeah.
But now we're living in a great time where this is the time for you to get a show.
But you understand, I wasn't the same. Like, it fucked with my head so much.
We after the squirters?
It fucked and I've been with Angela Stone. I fucked the number. I was going out with the number one squirter on the internet.
Who rates that? Is that Rolling Stone or something?
No, Esquire. Esquire did a whole
town.
Yeah, there's a scale. There's a hierarchy.
Town and country.
It's an old boys network. Well, what happens to squirters when they get older? They go like, "Don't come in now, Grandma's squirting. Oh, it's so hard for me. I used to be able to hit the wall. Now I can't get past the VCR. The cookies. Would you like one?" Leonard, say off the floor. It's Thursday. Grandma's squirting.
The cookies.
That's not your shrink set. That's my granddaughter's.
Did you say VCR?
Yeah.
We have to send the audience, the young people, a 2-hour documentary on what a VCR
Young people.
Now, what about technology? Have you embraced that?
I try. I hate it, but I try for an hour. I even did. I liked Periscope for a while.
Oh yeah, it's fun. Well, you must be great.
It was fun. I like going out on my street and cursing at everybody out because I live in the worst Primrose Lane. Like I'll never listen to my so-called wife now.
So-called wife.
But she wants a community, all that. The first day somebody knocked on my door and they were pretentious. They went like this, went. And they're like an angry fag or something. So they opened the door. You know what I said? I said, what? I didn't stutter back then. I said, what the fuck are you doing knocking on my door like a condescending little fucking prick? That's how I used to be. And it turns out he was.
What if it was Bill Maher?
Tracy goes, no, this is my community. These are our friends. I said, no, he's a fucking pretentious guy. And he goes, your car is in my way. And I said, so don't knock my,
Yeah. What if it was really a condescending?
And he goes, you're on drugs. I go, you're a drunk. And he went like this. He got sad because I called him a drunk.
And you left. Sure, you told him the truth. But it would be great if you said condescending little prick and it was actually Bill Maher. New rule.
It was Bill
No
Maher.
parking your car by mine.
Bill Maher condescending.
New rule.
It's so funny.
No fucking squirters on my lawn.
I can usually spot a condescending prick. I couldn't spot that in a minute. It's obvious. It's the first thing
It
you
should be.
see.
New Yorkers should be able to spot that. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's weird.
I can't. I can't go to sleep without the sounds of the city. That was my problem in L.A.
That's my problem too.
But then, I needed something you hear in the city. And then you know what I do that works on the road is I have a tape of Sam Jackson saying, what's in your wallet?
Really? Does he do that?
And that puts me right to sleep.
Oh, he does a children's song, go the fuck to sleep. But it's true. My wife, she played it for me.
Oh,
he has this great thing where he goes like, it's the Christmas trees or this and that. Now go the fuck to sleep.
I feel we went right over my joke about Sam Jackson.
Yeah, tell me yours.
I just did. And you just went on to your joke. It's very selfish.
That's my problem. I'm finding out. That's why my friends, like Pete doesn't even hear me.
Well, first of all, you brought a couple of guests. Peter Appel, by the way, one of the best actors on the planet Earth. He is. Come on. Like most actors.
Beautiful. He doesn't want to beautiful talk. Guy, too, even though I have to call him. Never fucking calls me. He doesn't give a shit.
Now, a couple times I thought about calling you about 4 o'clock in the morning.
I always wanted you to. I always thought about
because it was 4 a.m. your time. You always said you want to talk, and you're the kind of guy. I bet you. I said I feel good if I talk to Rick Shapiro, and then I don't want to bug you. I always
feel like they're going to think I complain too much, so I don't call.
Well, no, I would love to. I would talk to you anytime too. People say that. I feel like I want to feed arguing with the little prick next to him, the condescending prick. You just hear new rule, no answering the phone at 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's funny. Before I left for LA, I knew he was a condescending prick. I really forgot. And you understand? I talk like there's tears in my nose.
Yeah.
I'm so lost out there. I don't get it, man.
That's your new album.
Every time I want to go, I get work.
Your new album, Tears in My Nose.
Yeah, who gets tears in those? Like guys with birds in their throat.
Now you're Peter Appel. Now your other guest.
This guy is the funniest guy. He's another one of those guys who's has to do it, but he won't because he thinks maybe I don't think he does, but he thinks he's got to be like everyone else. He doesn't realize what a force he'd be.
Yeah, I'm the gel-haired guy.
No. You're the one. I know your thing is. Sometimes I used to wonder: does he think he has to be like everyone else, so he doesn't want to go up? So. I've seen that 100 times.
You're a comedian.
Can I just be
no, he's not a comedian, but he's
not a comedian.
He's sick talent, like sick.
What do? Are you a writer?
You can't stop making noise. You can't stop reacting to people.
Writer, I just kind of.
Oh, okay, but you're doing like comedic stuff or just whatever?
I do performing also.
Oh, okay, all right. And what's your name?
But barely. I never saw you, and I've been begging to see.
What's your full name?
Tell me.
Tell him my name.
Gordon. That's all I know.
Okay, Gordon. Gordon Lightfoot.
Gordon Ramsay, actually.
Gordon Ramsay. Is that true?
That's my real name.
Really? Well, no. You're welcome. You guys, if you want to talk, you can. Rick and I have a good rapport going.
Yeah. We do actually. I'm still a little weird, but I want to ask you questions. You want to
go right ahead.
When did you start? When did you start doing?
I started performing at 20. I started doing comedy at 47.
Really? What kind of Oh, that's funny because I really wanted to ask you about drugs. When you said comedy, I went like, yeah, right.
I started doing drugs at 20.
At 20?
No, like 16, probably, 16, 17.
When did you hit coke?
Cocaine, probably 17. First time I saw cocaine.
17?
Yeah. Some guy had it.
You shot, right?
No, I never shot it.
Yeah,
well, actually, one time, a stripper I was dating, skin popped me with a needle, and I wanted to kill her because I don't want to go to that. And the high hit me, and I couldn't kill her. And then we started talking about Law and Order episodes we like, and then for 10 hours, and then I left, and I just didn't. The shooting thing always scared me.
That's
because as you can see, I'm
that's
an
adventure you went on.
But the end of that story is I have full-blown AIDS.
But did you? But you'll beat it because you're an American.
Did you ever go over there? I did have to stand up for the troops in Afghanistan. Did you ever do that?
No, they won't send me.
It's hard for a heroin addict because I was doing stand up and I'm looking at the hills going, outside. I'm like, right over that hill is fresh heroin.
Oh,
I realized I've never done heroin that hasn't been shit out by a woman at a Best Western in the Bronx at gunpoint.
You got a hot parking lot? That's where you smack them.
We ever in charge of drug mules in the mob?
You mean like people carry? No. I dealt with the guys higher up.
I mean, the people have to wait for them to shit. The girls to shit.
500-pound Colombians, and they said if you walk in his apartment, I mean, they were big, and the wives had biceps in their gut. They had muscles in their.
These are the ones swallowed the heroin.
And, they had the t-shirts on, the white tee with all the heroin. Yeah. So I would walk in. They'd be like, if you touch him, I said, but I can't get by him in the doorway. He goes, if you touch him, he'll kill you. He won't want you back.
You touch him?
And you could get cut. So I walked by him in the doorway like,
oh my God.
Yeah, it was weird as shit. And then I had to keep my boss's head up. Then I had to take the pure Peruvian and be trusted with it. And then after a while, I just...
You say that as a joke, by the way, and he has a story about it. that Peruvian. Imagine
That's the only part of my life I remember. I don't even remember comedy.
Because it sounds fun.
Yeah, well, that's the hardest thing.
You can remember that or a conversation you had with, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Jim Gaffigan.
Let me name one.
Listen, imagine that's your day, how dark your day is if you're one of those guys who has to wait for those girls to shit. Like, you get up knowing you have to pick them up at the airport. And then if you see them eating some cheese or something binding, you're like, we don't have all day. Like, get some kale. Like, what if you see one of those chicks having some mozzarella? You're like, what are you doing? We don't have all day for you to shit.
Nobody ever thinks about the guy waiting for the girls to shit.
He's got to wait. That's a dark day. That's a bad, that's a real depressing day. You got to
like
lose
a
your
security
soul.
guard. That's a security guard. He doesn't care about a canoe.
Listen, girls, we got to hurry up in there.
Yeah. The security guard. I was thinking, a security guard. I always thought that's the job I could get because he stands around and doesn't do anything. I said, I do that at home. I said, I stand up at home confused.
It's like the guy in a rap group who just says Brooklyn every 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's good, man.
You're not with the jailhead guys. Calm
You're
down.
the funniest guy. Usually I'm the funny one. Now I'm like, take me for a ride, Artie. Take me for a ride.
Well, listen.
Go lyrical, man. Go lyrical.
This is the Lutesso talking. Lutesso. What's the medication I take for blood pressure? Oh, what am I down with? The black chick. You're down with Cretora. You know the commercial I'm talking about?
Yes.
You're down with Crestor.
Crestor.
Yeah. Do you ever see that commercial where the black chick starts dancing? She's down with Crestor.
No. You see, like behind the window. They're always behind the window looking out.
It's a racist commercial. Like the white doctor goes, "You're down with Crestor." She's like, "All right." It like becomes an episode of Sanford and Son.
She starts shaking her butt.
Yeah, but you know what? You want to talk about political correctness? Sanford and Son. Watch an episode of that uncensored. There's jokes they used to do.
Yeah.
Aunt Esther would come over and Red Fox would say, "Why'd you go in the kitchen and stick your head in some dough and make gorilla cookies?" You're not gonna see that in The Big Bang Theory.
Shit, man. So let me ask you something. I gotta ask you this.
Go ahead.
There was that rumor, right?
I'm not gay.
That you stabbed yourself?
I did do that, yeah.
So
I was on heroin. I'm coming down from it. I was
from
bad
heroin?
withdrawals. Withdrawals, like I was seeing things. Yeah.
Did you know you were
Right
stabbing
where he's sitting,
yourself?
right where Gordon Lightfoot's sitting.
Did you know you were stabbing?
Rams. Did I know? Yeah.
You should make sound effects while we talk. He does
I remember
sound
sort
effects.
of. Yeah.
Sit by the mic.
I
Makes
like working with my hands. I like working all day long. I'll stand around if I'm not working.
what else? How's your wife?
My wife, she's a poison orangutan.
Wait, let him do it on the microphone.
Yeah, come on the mic.
You have good radio instincts. Be a producer.
Rick and I work.
And then you have Pete explaining people's behavior to me. That's what he does.
I love it. This is how we segue into this. I heard you stab yourself 9 times. He does sound effects.
I know. I want to get into that. I know. My attention. Wait.
There's a whole
Do
book
sound
about
effects
it.
while we're asking. Wait.
There's a whole book about it. Creation Burn. Pick it up.
What was it in your head? Like, can you describe
Listen,
it?
I always tell people.
Beautiful. You'll do more.
That's me blowing my nose.
So, did you ever fall down a flight of steps?
Son of a.
Is that Dizzy Gillespie falling down stairs?
Yeah.
But the sound effects are hilarious. Just making a wind noise.
I know. It's
No,
like,
what
thanks
happened
for
was I always tell people say a guy robbed the bank on heroin. I'm like, no, he didn't. And when you're on heroin,
There's no
everything's
way.
fine. You know,
No, you're beautiful.
when you're off it, when you need it, that's when you rob the bank because you
Yeah.
go crazy. So I've gone through withdrawals that are like biblical, and I was, in rough shape, and I had just gotten thrown off, after 8 years in Stern because I was high on the air, and you fall asleep on heroin on the biggest radio show of all time. Not exactly. And losing gigs, and I just I thought it was over, and I don't know if I wanted to kill myself. I just wanted to go to sleep. I wanted to lose blood to go to sleep. That was my logic, and I don't know what I thought I was going to do the next morning. Put a red shirt on and go to the deli or something.
So,
I stabbed myself 9 times in full blown withdrawals, and then they found me and they took me away, and
did you call anybody?
No, they found me. I opened the door because I knew my cleaning woman was coming, Selma. And she, it took her an hour to
gonna bring you
find a
back to
Mexican
life?
ambulance.
Well, it's good you didn't isolate.
I was right there, right where Peter's sitting now.
That's amazing, man. 'cause
It's on the
a guy, like when I was doing all that shit, I was so romantic to me at the time. Not even looking
Well, yeah,
back.
when you start doing it, that's why I try to tell kids, like, it's not Keith Richards writing "Give Me Shelter" in his Jaguar in
getting
London.
blown by 3 miles,
Right,
and he's 80 years old.
It's you, at a Best Western, waiting for your dealer to shit while you're out, You're watching Three's Company.
You're sitting with four guys who carry guns, and you're making sure their heads. My job was to make sure their heads don't fall into the soup. I had to tap them on the shoulder and I had to pull their heads back. I ran around the table.
They were nodding. They were nodding off.
Yeah, the hitman.
That's his job.
Colombian. Yeah.
Make sure Edgar don't fall in the soup.
Yeah, that was my job.
That was his job. Now, was that union or you got to break it?
Nah.
That Rick. So have you written a book? You've written a book.
No,
right?
I want to.
Oh.
I wrote a book, but
I get you a deal.
I wrote a book. It includes some of that. But
I'll tell you, here's the worst part about the book business now. I'll tell you the worst part about it's all about promotion. How can you? It's not about the quality of the book. Like if F. Scott Fitzgerald walked into Random House today with the finished version of The Great Gatsby, they would flip through it with a thumb and go, "Great, can you get on Ron and Fez?
Yeah.
Can you get on Open Anthony for a week? I'm killing with Peter."
Yeah, the girl who published my book. I looked.
Did you write a book?
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
Unfiltered, but it's not about my life. It has everything like scripts and it has stories and little.
But the book is your life, man. The book is your life.
Well, this woman's writing a book about me. She won the Pulitzer Prize at Peabody and MacArthur, all that shit.
Oh wait, what's your face? Adrian.
Yeah.
She interviewed me for that book. She followed me around for 2 weeks talking about you.
Really?
Yeah. I said gladly, I'll talk about him.
Did you see? But he doesn't get up. He never gets work.
But then I realized I thought it was Ben Shapiro for 2 weeks. Could have wrote for
Ben.
I could have wrote for King of the Hill. Then she told me it was you. I said, oh wait, let's.
He's a Shapiro?
No, she did it. It was about.
He
comedy.
might be your cousin, Rick. Look him up.
She said it was about comedy, but the focal point was you.
Well, she started by saying it was about me.
Right? No, but it was about
And
you.
I brought her in.
And she loves you so much. We all love you. She has a great affection for you. She does. She loves you. Where is that book?
Now she said it'll be done by next September.
That was 7 years ago. She told me.
Yeah, I know. Every September. But she's a hard worker. Her last book took her 8 years to write.
What's it called? The book she wrote about the Spanish family. She lived with them.
Is that amazing?
Yeah.
You read it, huh?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
She lived, talk about research, with a Spanish drug dealing family.
Yeah,
right?
who was screwing his daughters and all that shit.
Unbelievable.
And the girl said to her, if you tell anyone, we'll kill you. So she had a choice. She said, I battled with, should I call? But she goes, I just had a gut feeling it's more important that I respect what they say and be a fly on the wall.
She's amazing. But it takes a long time.
Yeah, the way she
What happened with the publisher expected that book? That's hilarious. I'm talking 7 years ago.
Yeah, they're angry. They're pretty fucking angry.
And you told her all these stories, and they're in the book?
All these great stories. But,
they are great. You're great, man. I do love you.
You got to see Unfiltered. You never read that?
No.
Oh, I forget. It's a good book.
It's amazing.
Perfect name.
Kids call me up a lot.
Perfect name for it.
Well, one guy put some of the words to songs. This little guy in Alabama, this kid, and fucking. I said, whose words? Those words are incredible. He goes, that's you.
What do you mean the words? He put the words. She made songs out of it.
Slow and had pauses. I was like, what's this? It's nice.
That's great.
Yeah. But let's get away from the artist thing, because this is a Greek
table
with no
about?
cheese or olives.
Well, an artist made this table.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I trust anything you say, because you're the only guy who's been there and back. That's how I got into the mud.
Remember what Hunter S. Thompson says, and I think it's in Hell's Angels, he says, no one's ever been to the edge, alive, because the people who went there went over it, you know. You know where the edge. Do you feel you ever went, well, stab myself, that was the edge.
Yeah, I don't feel like
that ain't rock bottom.
I tried in fight. I go into I'd be on so much coke and heroin. I would go into bars. Say it, Rick. I'll say it as a Republican. You can talk as a Republican. In biker bars. See how come I can do that?
Right.
In biker bars, and I stare him down.
Right.
And one time a guy turned around and he goes, "What the fuck you?" And he had cut off this big fucking guy and a cast, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And I said, "You." And I was taking karate at the time, like 4 months of karate. So he swung at me, and I didn't know I knew it. And he swung at me, and I go like, and he looks at me like, and he swings at me, and like that. And then I thought of the next move. You should kick him in the nuts. And I go, no, I'll push him. And like an idiot, I just pushed him against the window and walked away, thinking I won. Next thing you know, my head's being pounded.
Really?
Yeah, but it was fun. Like I punched a guy at Cafe 101 in L.A. because he was pulling girls' hair and nobody was doing anything.
Oh, that's terrible.
And he was acting. He was drunk. You know, I thought it was the UCB actually. That's one reason I hit him.
UCB.
And that's one reason I hit him.
We're doing the hair pulling exercise.
Yeah, no, because they had bow ties on, and you know, they were funny and shit.
You know what we used to do to piss people off, to try to get in a fight? We'd get on like a Christian bus or something, and find that they would have retarded kids they would take on outings. And you remember those shirts, "I'm with stupid" and point to your friend?
Yeah.
I would wear one of those and sit next to a retarded kid and see what happens.
Would you do that? Did you really do that?
Christian kids would want to beat us up. I said, I don't know this guy. It was the only seat open, and I happen to have the only clean shirt.
One time I had a pea shooter. He used to hit blondes in the back of their neck. In math class.
I'm going to submit this to the Museum of Broadcasting, this episode, because there's no guest like you, and I don't know what I'm saying. And then there was a wind sound effect for a second.
You're the only one I get quiet with.
Should we just have a few moments of silence, guys? Just
Make a silent
Be like one of my stand-up shows. What? So what, Gordon? What exactly do you do? You're obviously a talented guy.
I'll tell you, I'm a piece of work.
Yeah, I mean you are, right? I mean,
Well, like
you got rock star hair. First of all, look at that. That's like a young Bill Wyman right there.
Yeah, thank you, Artie. Let's see. I mean, me and Rick go back. I've known Rick since when is it?
I was going to say a
98
long
or something
time,
like
right?
that.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those guys. I'm doing comedy here and there. Then I
Stand up or
I did a bunch of
He never
stand up.
tells
Then I'll
me.
take a year off or so. Do some writing.
Right.
Take another
Take
7
6
years
years
off.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how he
I grew up
does
as an
it.
actor. My dad was an actor.
Oh, okay.
My dad was Bozo the Clown, actually, in the late,
Is that
late
true?
60s. Yeah.
Come on.
He was?
You watched him in WOR, yeah, in the late 60s.
Come on.
You know, your father was Bozo the Clown?
You knew that. Come on.
You never told me that. You never name dropped.
If-
You
if-
never name dropped
After
it.
17 years, you're finding that out right now?
Yeah.
That's something you know.
Because his wife used to talk for him all the time. Gordon loves you. Gordon's outside. Gordon's outside. You want to go out and say hi to him? You want to.
Wait a
You know,
minute.
Sharon.
What the fuck?
You know, you didn't know that. She would always come and be like, Gordon's outside. He's this crazy bossy girl.
He wants
She's
to see a
great.
program. He loves the program. Also, we're doing a reboot of Rent.
reboot?
The Rent. You know the play Rent?
Yeah.
Let's go. Ready? 525,600 minutes.
Miss, it was veal when it was in the kitchen. It was veal when it was being cooked. It was veal when it hit the fucking table. I don't have to do that. My show's a success. I wrote.
Listen,
you know he died. He
Remind me, Dan, to go see Rent so I can get the show.
Yeah. He wrote this show and it became a hit, and he wouldn't quit his
Rent, I know, yeah.
He wouldn't quit his job.
I never saw it, though.
He was waiting tables. He wouldn't quit his job.
Right.
He felt like that was important.
Right.
And he died on his job. He gave an aneurysm.
And then the play, and then what happened? The play became a hit?
Yeah, it became a hit. While it
Afterwards.
was a hit, he still wouldn't quit his job. He died like the next day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's
Oh, that's
amazing.
sad.
He goes, give me the He goes, Rodrigo, give me the fucking broom. I think he was like,
Give me the broom.
Brad, Chad, come over here. When you do this, it makes a noise. I think we wrote stomp. It makes a, when you do this, oh no it doesn't. Oh yes it does. Ha ha ha. Rodrigo, give me the fucking brush. Give me some Converse. Those fucking heteros from Connecticut are so stupid. They'll think it's a show.
Heteros from Connecticut.
I said I had a bad attitude, man. I was a guy going in the back going, this show sucks. This show
By the way,
sucks.
my first apartment in New York was right
We
below.
did a rent joke and heroin. That makes us prostitutes.
My first apartment in New York was right below the rehearsal space for Stomp. Terrible.
Really? No, get out of here. You're lying. That's great. You don't put it on. You just say.
Well, I'd make terrible decisions business-wise. Dan will tell you. This podcast, I paid for these microphones 2
Yeah,
years.
tell me.
2 years, I'm still not in the... I opened up a water park in Flint, Michigan 2 years ago.
Do they? Man. I retain knowledge. I don't know where I put it. But
Do you retain knowledge? I got a feeling you probably forgot more than most people know about life.
I used to, I want to admit. Now I have this little voice in my head that says, "We admit you're fucking smart."
Right.
I get choked up remembering this shit because my father told me I was stupid. He put me in the garage, flip
he
lights
really?
on and off. He goes, "You dumb ox, you dumb." And my mother would come and go like, "You dumb ox, you dumb ox." I wet my pants till I was 12.
But in the garage, you would put
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He
That's
hated
real
that I was
abuse.
smart. That I was good at everything. I was sports and art stuff.
I could
He stopped
imagine.
me from playing sports. He started whacking me around. He hit me so hard that I became afraid of everybody in school.
Right. You didn't like
That's why I have
you were
anxiety now.
good. You didn't like you were good at everything.
Yeah, I was.
I know, but he didn't like that as a dad.
No,
he wasn't
he
proud.
hated that.
A lot of they get resentful. Maybe he was jealous of it. You
He
know.
would chase me. And when the teacher called and said, "Your son has a gift for he's writing plays and he's 12."
Right.
He wrote 4 plays. And my father looks at me like this. He give me a look, biting on his tongue. And that meant when I got home. So I watched him pull out my drawer and rip all of them up. And I didn't know I was a poet till I fucking. 35 years old. Now I paint. I sold a couple of them. I painted as a kid too, and I hated it. I wasn't allowed to do anything. I couldn't listen to music. I'm having a flashback, but he would buy me a giant tape recorder and record him at seminars, give him a speech. But that's why his voice.
Wait, so what did he do for a living?
He worked at Candy Cane. He was a violent candy strip.
But let me tell you something. I can tell you and Gordon are kind of like, simpatico, soulmates. Like, you can tell you got the same sense of humor. And you meet a guy like that, and it's fun to hang with him, right? I mean,
it's great. It's more fun than the comedians, most of the comedians.
Well, because he's got a comedic mind. It's just, a lot of stand-ups are like, the problem is people think stand-up's so tough. It's very easy to kill. Marco Rubio's killing with dick hand jokes. I mean, you go to Milwaukee, it's very easy to get laughs. You just, say a Brewer guy you saw sucking dick or something. It's not hard to get, but real funny people aren't comedians. I think real funny people stop.
But they would have been if it kept going.
Exactly, if it was done properly.
Wasn't homogenized.
If you didn't get rewarded for being shitty,
if Tommy Central didn't tell you you better hold. Whatever. But here's what I'm saying.
Okay, right.
The thing I never cop to is I am so afraid of comedians. The guys I love.
Right.
I didn't think I was allowed. Like I tell Louis tried to be friends early when I was brand new.
Right.
He'd say people like you, Rick, and Janine and David Cross. They'd be like, you can hang with us, and they weren't famous yet, but I didn't know that was important to have friends who were humorous guys.
Right.
I always hung around people that frustrated me mentally, but I confused that.
Right.
But it's been a weird thing. I was going to say something, but I forgot something more interesting. That didn't help. I didn't grow.
That's very honest of you, but I bet they're intimidated by you, because I think
that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. Like I'm the most affable, approachable, amenable.
Because you're funnier than Janine Garofalo. Let me signal for you.
You're funny what?
You're funnier than Janine Garofalo. Believe me, you are. Don't be afraid to talk to her.
Yeah. She knows that too. No, she was actually great. She
wrote one punchline. Rolling her eyes is her punchline.
Yeah. When she
you guys see Speed?
I love how she expects her audience to be. She went up on stage one night and she goes, before Harry Potter was big, she goes, I'm reading this Harry Potter book, and I got to tell you, is anybody else doing it? Yours was quiet. She goes, I'm really enjoying it. And she's looking at people like she thought they were going to be as smart as her.
People like that, they fool executives like HBO into thinking like she's not saying a joke and she's bombing, but she's thinking something so smart.
Yeah, instead of the guy who says something so smart, they'll be like, but she almost says some really smart stuff. And she'll be like, Rick, you got to try that. They would do this, like you give it the look.
The problem is you're saying the brilliant stuff. She's just thinking it.
Yeah.
And we would never ask her because, of course, that's embarrassing. Here's $2 million. Here's $2 million in a deal. See if Rick can do a part every 3 days. There's no justice, Rick. I'll speak for you. There's no justice.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. And years ago, I would have said, well, then how do you live? But the point is, I know that you got to lead. You got to write your own stuff, and that's it.
That's true. I mean, someone like you should. I mean, I'm I'm auditioning for a 3-episode arc on like Nip Tuck or something. You should be doing your own stuff.
Yeah.
Like you see, I'm married every once in a while. Guys who love you, they put you in stuff. And Louis,
but I had to audition for that part.
Right. Well, for what? The Louis part?
For Bernie.
The part of Rick Shapiro. You put
no. He called me in for that. He gave me that.
I have to offer you the part of Rick Shapiro.
Because people go like,
that we ended up giving it to your brother.
Now, what about your brother? You have a twin brother.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's living on the edge, I guess. He's about to go into jail, or he's not. I don't know what's true with him. He's he became big in the Adderall
okay.
business. Yeah. When I was on Adderall, when I was running with that was amazing. I called Louis up. I called Louis up. This is what I mean about
trying to drug. It's like your girlfriend's Warren Beatty. You've done all of them. So when you were doing Adderall, what happened? I can't imagine that. What happened? With Adderall, yeah. You said when you were on Adderall, what happened?
With Adderall or
with Adderall? Were you dated a girl named Adderall or with Adderall?
No, I called Louis up. I got you. I called Louis up. Focus. I realized maybe that's the real me. And the little scrambling ice cream maker, Dick selling Nam Myoho and Gekyo chanting, the guys in showrooms lying down naked when they tell you I have great energy, but I'm not really living. I'm just surviving. The mobsters will go like, yeah, you're gonna make it real big, Shapiro. Now drop this off. We'll give you $20. That be all right?
That'd be all right. Like you're gonna negotiate.
They moved me into a penthouse. They had this beat up old penthouse.
Where?
Penthouse.
In Manhattan?
East Side, yeah.
Oh God.
And when I moved in, I took all the furniture out from the living room, put it in my room. They go, he moved all the furniture. They whispered, they go, he moved all the furniture into his
You
room.
moved the FBI bugs.
Yeah, no, I just wanted things.
That's hilarious. I mean, what a life. Think about it. I mean, actually, I don't want to make you jealous.
No, let's
but
think about it.
I just got a very big career thing before you. I got a call. I'm the new Jared for Subway.
Oh, really? I didn't follow that series.
They asked me 2 questions. Can you lose weight, and have you ever fucked a kid? So I was 1 for 2.
What'd you tell him?
I said I'll think about it. The losing weight part. The losing weight
I'll
part.
suck the blood out of that preschooler's ass.
What about commercial work? Have you gotten commercial work ever?
Yeah, it's funny. I just got a Progressive commercial. It's paying a lot.
Is that true?
Yeah, but you want to hear
Oh,
about
wait a
it?
minute. Yeah, you're in. I saw you in Progressive. Now, what is that girl like? Is she arrogant?
No, she's... Well, yeah, here's what LA is. Watch what came out of my mouth. No, she's actually really sweet. She's rich. So she's nice to everybody on the set. Really nice.
Yeah.
No, I'm
you know
concerned
what,
about this
LA's
part.
like people talk to you. You could be saying anything, the most tragic thing in a bar or club, and they're interested until they see someone more famous over your shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, now really, it's in your bone marrow. That's going to be terrible. Listen, if they caught it early, is that Christina Applegate?
Yeah, they look, but they do look. Like, I told the guy, my words are still hanging in talking to you. And I came up with an art exhibit. I'm going to do it with fishing reels so you can't see it, and sentences in big fonts of things you've heard out there, of things that weren't heard, and what you got to walk through it. Because I told him my words are hanging right there. I go, wow, that's an idea. And he'd be like, no, I heard you. And I said, well, what's the last thing you heard? He told me. I said, there were 3 sentences after that.
Yeah.
He goes, no, but I heard you. I said, that's
Of
not
course.
hearing me.
I heard you.
And if you told them a horrible story, they'd be like, if you told me your mother got you see, in New York, I can talk fast, but I'm still stuck. It's amazing. There's a poison out there, and it's not when people go like, I hate it because the people are bullshit. Well, that means you're in an arena, in a world, every day for 7 years, every hour of every day, every minute of every day of a bullshit town,
Right.
air,
It
and human
affects
beings
you.
every day.
It affects you.
Yeah, that's why I don't think I have Parkinson's. They said I had it. When I'm there, I'm like this. I'm like, I can't walk in the house.
Right.
But when I'm here, I'm walking fast and I'm loose and I'm fine. So we're moving back. Actually, it's gonna be good.
What, to New York?
You have anything here?
Oh, sure. Sleep over there. Dan will sleep on the couch. What, Dan?
That's what I want to do. I wasn't married.
Are you really moving back to New York?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah.
You're gonna have, it'll be better here.
Yeah,
you
but these commercials-
Peter take a spin class together.
I can get you in mine.
We'll go to the juice bar. We knee deep in pussy.
I'll meet you at the juice bar. I'll meet you at the juice bar.
I love it. Last night, this trainer
juice
was behind
bar.
me. This trainer was behind me. She goes like, "You need to watch where you're going." And I look at her and I go, "Thank you, man. That's nice." I've been away for a while.
So Queen Latifah's your trainer?
Yeah.
Do you go to the gym still? You still work out?
Queen Latifah is Oprah, who was Ellen DeGeneres, who will be Mike Douglas. That's
Do you like Ellen
talk
DeGeneres?
to.
Do you like Ellen DeGeneres when she dances?
Isn't it pathetic?
That's terrible.
Saddest, sorry.
She does that in place of a monologue.
People go to Trump rallies and beat each other up.
I know.
They go to Ellen DeGeneres, and you make up the rest of the joke.
And they dance each other up.
Yeah. They Jimmy Fallon
That's
each
why I'm a
other
great
up.
improv guy.
Yeah.
Give me
Give
a
that
situation.
clap.
I do 143 comedic characters. Yell out a number between one and 100.
All right, number 8.
Number 8's my effeminate plumber. We need some pipes. Yell out a number.
What's number 11?
My effeminate construction worker. We need some
That's what I
2x6s. That's it. That's what I do. The other ones are physical. I can't do them here.
I just have 18 voices.
18 voices?
One time I was talking about, you ever have you would talk to yourself, beat yourself up, and all the voices were loud as hell? At one point I went like this. I heard myself say like my grandma. I went like, the both of you, just stop it. I'm not making it up. That came out just like that.
Well, my mother, Italian mother, she would say stuff like at the top of her lungs, yelling. One was like nice and parental, the other one or mean, and the other one was like something nice, like she's a parent. Like she would just say something like, "I hate you. I never want to see you again. Are you hungry?" Get out of this house and never come back. There are chicken cutlets in the refrigerator.
That's amazing.
She would leave notes like she would stuff she wanted to get at the market, and then give me instructions. I come home from school and it'd be like, take your shoes off. I vacuumed the den / basil. I wish I wanted to sign those notes. It'd be like,
Yeah, did you ever have a girlfriend who cleaned up the house a lot?
oh yeah.
You like that, right?
I wasn't that good with chicks.
I hated that.
Well, yeah, you would have girlfriends clean up the house and like what they'd clean up, the heroin, right? Did you ever have a chick throw out your stash by
No,
mistake?
you know what I would do? I would leave.
She followed her over the balcony. Believe me. Did you ever kill a woman because you threw out your heroin?
No, actually, I don't even know if I would. I always got more. I had a free supply.
That's good. That's great.
That's dealers. It was really. They were shooting up. Get. All right, do it again. Gelsey Kirkland. You know who she is?
She's the dancer, right?
Yeah, the prima ballerina.
Yeah.
Gelsey
Number
Kirkland.
one in the world. Rudolph Nureyev was crazy about her. Mikhail Baryshnikov. I walk in there shooting her up.
Oh, really?
And it's really like really dark. Like the Puerto Rican hitman, the meanest guy in the world, and these other guys were just using her, banging her out.
Oh, that's a terrible.
Yeah. So then they go to me. They go, "You got to take her to Lincoln. You got to take.
You got to take her.
Yeah. To the Lincoln Center. I'm carrying her. She's hit me in the car saying, I hate ballet. I hate it. And she's screaming, it's hell. It's hell.
ballet, okay.
Don't take me. And I took her. I had to drag her up the steps. Her feet were hitting the steps. I had to hold her onto her.
She's gonna do the Nutcracker Suite on dope.
Well, watch. I put her in the dressing room. She goes out. She's like a swan. But
No
she couldn't
kidding.
walk. She was unbelievable.
You're kidding.
I never saw ballet. I saw her. I got it.
And and you saw what happened, and then oh god.
Yeah.
That is really. I love that story. We're the same, except Chelsea Handler was a dancer.
That's no surprise. Was she a slut? I want to go out with one of these slutty girls.
I know. The girls think that's funny if you just talk like a guy. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Chelsea,
that's hilarious.
Chelsea tells it
You
like
blew
it
your
is.
limo driver. That's hilarious.
Yeah, but she's calling herself a slut when really she
I
can't
know.
appreciate eroticism.
I know,
If
of
you
course
fuck a lot
not.
of guys, that's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But instead, it's like I got stuck in frat boy lingo. Like, who's Oscar Wilde? I listen to Jason Futterman tell me I'm a slut.
Oscar Wilde, Jason.
Yeah. And then now if you read, they go, I never read. Like, there's something wrong with you. I never read. I feel bad for you. You'll get that. Get a new app. I don't read app.
Well, listen. I mean, the smartest chick I ever dated thought the blue part of the globe was the sky. True story.
You tell me that. Tell me the moments he told you. That's a joke. That's a great joke.
That's a joke.
I want to believe him so much because you're the only one I love to watch.
Well, spread it around L.A.
When you help me out here. I'm not kidding. I'm gonna bother
You come back here. I was gonna go out
Word
there.
You shouldn't use. Like, throw me your bones better.
You can come out here anytime you want.
Yeah.
If you want, I don't care.
Oh, here, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just come back on.
But when I saw you at Gotham, and you were talking about something, doing a drug deal in a tunnel.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm half choked up this whole show. I'm half choked up. You had to hide the tears.
Well, no, that was the first time I had seen you in a few years, and I was worried. I said, I gotta hope everything's all right with Rick because the stream of consciousness, and you could be so. We all have this. I think when you're truly funny, you can get self-destructive on stage. You want to make the audience hate you more than make them laugh because it's too easy.
I
to
used to. I trusted
yeah.
that.
But
Now
you
I
were
like
so
that.
funny that night, man.
Really?
The same night you said you saw me. I remember that night you're talking about because I had to go after. I said, wow, I was so happy to see you. You destroyed, and you were still being risky. It was like you didn't. It was great. It was great. Yeah.
It's so nice that you were thinking that.
Yeah.
I saw you. I was like, man, everybody. Like you told a story about being in a tunnel and with a homeless guy buying drugs or something.
Yeah.
And you did it so like. I said, I don't even think he realized the charisma you had.
Yeah, that was the heroin. That was
Basic
about
truth
the withdrawal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but stuff like that, it's. I'm not going to get a show on Bravo. It doesn't work.
Well, look what's going on in Showtime and shit.
Do you have an agent now?
We could.
Do you have I would. That'd be fun. But
They're letting people now. Crystal meth is like a cartoon. I got crystal meth. It's like a happy. Now crystal meth is like a happy
Right, exactly. It's not dark
I don't
anymore.
understand the stutter, man.
Crystal meth is actually a good drug. If you need to walk to St. Louis, that's a good drug.
Yeah, I like how you said you walk to the point, you're already slapping yourself.
Well, that's true. That's a true story. He said Dee Dee Ramone and I, I've done coke for a few years, and I was like, wow, like the difference is.
You mean you hung out with Dee Dee?
No, I didn't see him, but this kid I knew him.
The best rock star coke is this. You ready?
Yeah.
When the 16-year-old says, "You remind me of Dee Dee Ramone. I have some coke."
That's right. You do look a young boy. You ever had a haircut like him?
No, but one time I
You remind me of Dee
fucked
Dee
a
Ramone.
dirty squatter, like dirty as all shit, dirt in her hair, and she's fucking me and she's choking me. It's the first time I never heard it, and I'm like, oh my god, it's fucking.
She's giving
sick.
the audio-erotic asphyxiation.
Yeah, I gave her the Glenda Jackson, the Oliver Reed in the book, the women.
Oliver Reed.
Oh, Oliver, shall I die? And
how many people do you think subscribers didn't know who Oliver Reed is?
but you gotta see the last scene of this movie. You could do it. His eyes are.
Oh, he's really. Did you ever see him on Letterman, Oliver Reed? He did Letterman a couple, and he lost it, and Letterman didn't know what to do. Letterman was like scared of him.
What did he do by
In
losing?
the '80s, I don't know. You just like he got weird. He seemed drunk or something.
Yeah,
and
he was
Letterman,
wild.
and Letterman was he kept saying all those different things and like quoting shit. Letterman didn't know what, and the audience was weirded out. And at one point, Letterman said, Oliver, I think at this point I'm getting off this train. He got up and he left the desk, and it was just Oliver Reed sitting there.
And not saying anything, right?
Wow.
Yeah,
Because I remember guys like him would go on, and the audience would be like, "Oh, good, a movie star," and they'd be like, they know things. He's been to so many wild places, so many
Exactly.
after that,
It's
that his
gone.
face doesn't look like. I mean, the words come out of his mouth don't look like his life,
Right.
Because he can't tell anyone, but he's got this look at it like, I just fucked 18. I sliced them while I fucked them, and they lived.
Yeah, he was like one of those Richard Harris, but darker, like in the darker stories. But another great one was Rip Torn. I met Rip Torn once.
Really?
We both gave out an award at the Film Awards, and I don't know. And for colleges, I said, "Who's after me?" He goes, "Giving out the best picture for a college Academy Award or something." Rip Torn. I'm like, "Oh God, I gotta wait for him." He walks in the back with I think someone's like his son and a young girl who looks scared, and he's walking around. And I said, "Mr. Torn, I'm a big fan." He goes, "Where's the poison?" That's what he said to me. And I saw some beers in the fridge. I said, "They're over there." Like, don't tell them where it is. I don't know. Poison. I figured
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
His son Tony.
Tony Torn?
Tony Torn, yeah, he's an actor also.
Is that true? It might have been him.
Yeah, he's a
What did he
twin.
do?
God, I love Rip Torn, man.
Yeah, Rip Torn was great.
legendary.
He was great.
He really
As a kid, you just glued.
Is he
watching.
dead?
I don't think so.
I don't think he died yet.
What was that story where he was supposed to be Nicholson in the story? He was supposed to be Nicholson in Easy Rider, and he put at the audition, he put a knife to Dennis Hopper's throat. Yeah, he lost it. He was fucked up, and Hopper said,
beautiful.
"We can't have this guy in this."
Why can't it be an alternative universe? There is. Fuck ups have to write the book,
Right.
so it's all accepted. Like a guy in the Chelsea Hotel who he screwed up. He stole money from all the women, all these famous artists. He just would go in their wallets, walk in, so his wife broke up with him, called him a loser. He goes, "I'll prove you're not a loser." And he wrote the book about everything. It's called, I think it's called the say it, Rick. Say it again. The fuck up. I'm Rick's organizer. Rick has a lot in his mind. Rick's mad at the word success today. You ever get like that where one word will hit you and they like success? Get out of here! Get out of my head! You know,
Success,
like Louis
yeah.
has and I don't. Get out of here! Get out of my head! I don't want to think like that. Today I'm putting on my shoes. All of a sudden I go like I bend over. I go like, if my father didn't hit me, I would have done what Louis did. And I said, I don't want these thoughts. You know, what do you say when you're tying on your shoe? I bet you get these thoughts.
What do I say?
What's yours?
I go,
What's yours?
"Fuck my back."
Wow, you're inventive. You're an innovator when it comes to that.
When you tie your shoes. See, most people don't think like that. Like,
No?
I mean, you think interesting thoughts when you're tying your shoes. You can't get rid of them. Is that torture?
Yeah.
Is it torture being a genius?
It's the torture is because you sit with some friends, not these guys I have to say, but that's why I call them and they don't call me, but that's why I call them.
I can't understand what he
You
says.
sit frustrated, you know it. What?
I don't understand you on the phone. He's really bad.
I'm
It-
bad on the
on the
phone.
phone
I can't.
sometimes it is,
I
yeah.
can't. You call me. You spoke.
I didn't think it's Rick Shapiro. The Chinese people calling me back saying they don't have dim sum.
You doing dim sum clip job?
I'm kidding.
I always tell me I'm about to die. I don't know how to. I'm better at it now. I don't know how to do it. I'm like, I can't do it. I don't understand that. Hi, Rick.
There you
I
go.
was like, I gotta hang up on him. No,
Like,
then
like,
they say
like-
it to me. I'm like,
Like,
no.
hello, Chelsea, it's me, Vodka.
I go, you're not Artie. I know you're not Pete or Gordon, but you're still not Artie.
Hello,
No,
Chelsea,
that's
it's
true.
me,
'Cause I think
Talent.
I wake up in the morning. I go like, should I? You don't have a wife now because I wake up in the morning like a loser. But I go,
She's very nice.
I go. I should call. I could call Artie, right? I could call Artie. And she's like, call him. I said, well, I don't know. He's busy as hell. And besides, those guys don't want to hear from me.
Oh, come
if you have a rental car and it's nice, they want to start trying to make fun of you guys. It's so funny. And she goes, call him. You need to call him.
I would think you're going. But actually, we don't want to get. You got to go. You have an appointment you have to go to, and we want to make sure you get there. But you have an open invite, buddy.
I have a podcast, I guess.
You go to the gel
I
hair
can't remember
guys.
what it was. That's why I don't want to go.
The gel hair guys. Are they doing a second part?
Yeah, it's called Welcome to Comedy.
Welcome to gel.
And his
Welcome to
name
Gel
is
Hell.
Welcome Matt. That's his comedy name. Welcome Matt. And Josh Joshenstein.
It's Brick Mason and welcome back. Come back anytime. You want to plug something? What do you want to plug?
I'm at
How about
New York Comedy
methamphetamine?
Club.
Rick Shapiro for methamphetamine.
New York Comedy Club.
When are you doing that?
Tonight at 7.
I'm coming.
Are you? You're not coming.
I'll be-
I'm coming. That's New York. I'm there, man. I'm there.
I'll be there.
Yeah, that's why in LA, I always do that out of habit. I go, I'm coming. They go like, you don't have to, because you're not proud of their work.
You know, I always do out of habit in L.A. is cocaine.
Yeah.
Now, so when are you going back to L.A.?
Do you still play with it, or you can't?
Oh, I can't. No, I can't.
Isn't it crazy being without it
do
sometimes?
Well, I fall off the wagon every once in a while.
Yeah,
I
wish
had 2 years and I fell off.
I wish I could do it once in a while. I can't.
You can't do it once in a while.
I kept thinking
I wake
that.
up under lives that I can't get lives off of me, like the wrong life.
Oh, Rick, do you ever want to just smoke weed or something instead?
You can do
was
that,
never into
maybe.
weed.
Can you do that?
Yeah, but I was never into
super
weed.
silver. That
No, well, it's bad. See, me, I can't do anything because it leads. It builds. Like if I even gambling, if I put a $5 bet down on roulette right now, by tomorrow at noon, I'd be running guns to Cuba. You know, I start doing criminal shit.
Yeah,
it's bad. It escalates.
Well,
And you're like
come
that
back
too.
from the track. Why do you want this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because gambling it satisfies the dope for a while, but then it doesn't. And then you
Yeah.
gotta go. But
The
go do
weird
what
thing is,
you.
a girl wanted to hang out. Like this girl wanted to hang out. She goes, "It's so good to meet you. Did you smoke pot?"
Yeah, that's what the devil. I get off stage still. Chicks have a hot chick has blow. You know, that's the devil. That's the devil.
It is right.
Yeah.
It is right.
Yeah, it is, of course. You know, God
I'm trying to
is
picture-
God is Carlos Mencia with blow. You're fine. I'm like, oh no, I don't need.
But I have no common sense. Like this woman let me eat her ass.
Oh my God.
Yesterday. Like, I'm still like.
Was that at Magnolia Bakery?
Magnolia Bakery.
They have the ass cupcake.
Ass cakes.
This woman let me eat her ass.
Sex and City, Sex and City, Sex
How
and
many
City.
comics nowadays are going to start off a story? This woman let me eat her ass yesterday.
They don't do that, right?
I-
Now they say it, and all these young guys, these kids are doing like, yeah, so she had me eat her. I ate the big A.
Yeah, that was always a nickname. You want to punch him in the fucking face.
I heard this girl tell a joke. She goes, it was amazing. She goes, she wasn't funny, but she was very, very kind of hot in this weird way, like a snake. And she said something like, so I'm sitting on this guy, and his cock is inside me, and she goes, I could feel him go. My pussy could feel him go soft.
Right.
And I sat there like just feeling her pussy go.
Oh, my God. Oh.
I said she painted such a picture. You never heard a comedian do that. Usually
No.
girls go like,
So he fucked me. I sent him home. He
Right.
said, "Don't stay over." And he fucked me. We did the thing.
but she goes. His cock was, and her body started moving. You open up when you talk like that.
Yeah, you do.
You
Everywhere, apparently.
She had like her eyes were hanging like snake eyes, and she was like, "Yeah." So I'm sitting on his cock. He's moving his way.
Well, listen, you said something that's redundant. She wasn't funny.
Yeah. That's
All
right.
right, we're going to go Knock Knock, it's Tig Notaro. Have you seen that show?
No women are funny. No, is it good?
No. All right, listen, get
That's
to your
good to hear.
next
It's good to
podcast.
hear.
Tell the Jelly kids to call me. Rick, you're
Oh,
honestly, I love you. I love you to death. And if
Thanks.
your
I
father
love you
didn't beat
too,
If
man.
your father didn't beat you, you'd be Louis C.K. We all have our problems.
Yeah.
I'd be Pierrot if my father didn't beat me. I love you, Pete. Gordon, come back anytime.
A guy named Louis was on. This is
Louis who?
Louis Santini. Or
Yeah.
He's gonna be mad. I don't know his last name. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He wanted to say hi. He wanted to say hi. want to say hi. He was on vinyl.
Louis said, vinyl. You watching vinyl? It's good.
No, I don't have cable right now.
Well, come over here when you want to see
I
it.
can tell you about the commercial though.
Which commercial?
What I did to the fish commercial, the Progressive.
Yeah. You threw the fish. I saw that commercial.
Yeah, but you know what happened? We came in and the director goes, I love how he like, yeah, I saw it. Please don't.
New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve in Italian.
No, but I walked in and the director goes, we had all these lines. He goes, all right, here's what's doing. Everybody sit in an arc. We've taken away your lines. There are no lines, but when Flo comes in, just give her a lot of weird looks when she talks. And he wanted to Seth Rogen crap. I'm nuts. Where he wanted us to have eyes like his, like, you know, they think comedy's going like this. You know, back and forth, and he goes, "It's not working. It's not working. It's been an hour. So we take a half-hour break. I'm holding a rubber fish trying to make these dumbass eyes. I start cursing myself out. I'm walking like you fish head, you fish boy.
All of a sudden, you're the
you
boom
carry
guy.
A fish at 40-something years old, for 50-something. I won't even say my age. I'm an LA chick. You carry a fish around. This is all you are, a rubber fucking fish. So when we put us in an arc again, it's a gang fight. They're holding up hibachi. Fishing pole, I'm holding up a fish, and some old lady's holding up something, and he goes, all right, here's what we're going to do. And I said, wait, I had this weird voice I always got. I go, like, I know my fucking audience. And I went, ah.
And you threw
the fish at his feet. But
you improv that.
Yeah, we wasn't done with his speech.
Oh, that's
I go,
hilarious.
and he stopped. Everyone looked at me like this. And he goes, that's the look.
That's great.
Yeah, and so he gave me some lines. He goes like, now say, I'm sorry. I went, I'm sorry. And everybody started laughing. He goes, now say I'm the bad guy. I go, I know that one. So I said, I'm the bad guy. I'm the nut. And I just walked away. Didn't wait for any more lines.
That was Flo mad at that?